Welcome in, everybody, to the Friday Night Countdown presented by Bud Bear Subaru on KDKA+. We're in West Mifflin tonight as the Titans are celebrating homecoming weekend in Week 3 action against the Bethel Park Blackhawks. Alongside former Pitt Panther defensive back Colin Johnoff, I'm Susie Cole, and like I said, Colin, the Titans taking on Bethel Park. It's a 4A, 5A matchup. What can we be excited about tonight?
Well, I think the fact that it's homecoming is going to add an extra element to this. Typically, when you have homecoming, the atmosphere is a little bit different, particularly when you're the home team. So I'm hoping West Mifflin can cause a little bit of chaos today, maybe ruffle some feathers and give us a pretty close game today. We'll
get more into that in a little bit. We do know West Mifflin is led by newly named head coach BJ Pugh, an alum here from West Mifflin, and that Bethel Park comes with an explosive offense. But speaking of explosive offense, can we look at those WPIAL headlines from last week and look at that game between North Catholic and the Blackhawk Cougars? Oh my goodness, a 65-49 scoreline combining for 114 points, Colin.
Yeah, I would have loved to have been a player on offense in one of those games. I know nothing that we had in high school ever was that explosive. But, you got to wonder going both ways. You got to be exhausted. Yes. 64-49. Talk about a sprint. Oh, my goodness.
Listen to these stats from this game. 16 touchdowns between the Blackhawks and Trojans. 44 first downs. 1,158 yards of offense. 818 rushing yards. And two running backs, Logan Shade for North Catholic and Braden McCarthy for Blackhawk, rushing for over 300 yards apiece. And it wasn't just the run game that was on point, too. Also the Trojans quarterback and Trojans head coach Chris Rizzo even said it reminded him of the old days in the Big 12. Just the high scoring, the constant touchdowns, back and forth offensive output. But what a game, making history, becoming the fourth highest scoring game in WPIAL history in the last 75 years. And speaking of history, let's take a look at your thoughts on Matt Sieg.
Yeah, Matt Sieg is someone that I was actually introduced to, not personally, but by my uncle years ago in terms of the quality of player that he could potentially be.
Yep.
Well, look at who he's become.
Oh, my goodness.
And he's one of the best players in WPIAL history. He has the opportunity to do some pretty incredible things. He just set another record, and now he's chasing that PIAA title.
Last weekend, quarterback Matt Sieg for the Fort Cherry Rangers going on and setting the all-time passing record, 4,533 rushing yards or passing yards now all-time, surpassing head coach Tanner Gary. And Tanner Gary having nothing but great things to say about Matt Sieg and the way that he conducts himself, not just on the field, but as a player as a whole. And he's definitely going to help the Rangers become a contender this season. Speaking of contenders and pretenders, this is where you and we might fight, Colin, okay? Let's start with our contenders. I'm going to list two right now. Avonworth, I think it's a given. Look at what they did to Aliquippa last week. They ran the ball. Their pass game was on. Their defense was tight against a really good Quips team that is notoriously very good in the WPIAL. And Mars, there's just something about the hunger that they have this year that's allowing them to win these close games, especially that one against Bethel Park.
Yeah, I think we're in lockstep in Avonworth because that's actually one of my contender teams.
Good.
They've been super impressive. Duke Joncourt, fantastic coach. I've been really impressed with them. The second contender, USC, I think that was a team I picked against earlier in the year. Well, now I'm picking with them. I think they're super well coached. The quarterback's been playing phenomenal. I think that is a team that has a chance to make some real noise as a contender.
Now, when we look at our pretenders, I hate saying the first one that I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it, Aliquippa. Look at what Avonworth did to them last week. They ran all over the Quips. The Quips quarterback, Marquise Council, he threw 3 interceptions. He threw 4 total last season. My other pretender is going to be Thomas Jefferson.
Oh,
I know.
wow.
We'll get more into that in the picks. Bill Trepak is not going to be happy with me on that. I wish I could explain myself more.
My biggest pretender is Mars. Going back to Mars, I was really unimpressed with what I saw in person last week. It was a team I thought that was going to be a little bit more prepared to play at a higher level, and they just underimpressed me last week against an inferior component. And then I think Hempfield is my other one. They're off to a great start, but I think they're a pretender in 6A.
Well, we're going to see who's the contender and pretender here tonight in this 4A, 5A matchup between West Mifflin and Bethel Park. Keep it locked here on your Friday Night Countdown.
This is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Subaru. It's time for the Subaru A Lot to Love event. We've got a tremendous selection of new 2025 Subaru Outbacks in stock. This month, rates are as low as 0.9%. And remember, these are assembled in the United States. Great cars, great selection, all kinds of colors, equipment. Come on up and drive one home today.
The honest dealer, believably different. Bud Bear.
My favorite thing to buy at Giant Eagle is sourdough bread.
This is hard because I have really good things to say. I love the fresh produce. I love the fresh meat.
I'm pretty sure the fish guy knows me by now. We're buds.
I love to grill. That alone keeps me coming back.
We love the fact that we have the My Perks program.
The people that work here are so nice and so helpful.
They are always very friendly, especially Pam.
Everybody loves the cakes from Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
A house is just 4 walls. But a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots in real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back, year after year. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
Miller's Mini Storage has the extra room you need. For more than 3 decades, our storage facility in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania has offered secure, affordable, and accessible storage solutions. Miller's Mini Storage has you covered. Simply bring a lock and key to keep your items safe at our location. New insulated units are available with dawn to dusk access. Storing with us is easy and convenient. Visit millersministorage.com today and reserve your space. Miller's Mini Storage. Your space, your way.
Welcome back to Titan Stadium, located right outside of the beautiful Kennywood Park. It's your Friday night countdown presented by Bud Bear Subaru. Alongside Colin Johnov, I'm Susie Cole here on your Friday night countdown on KDKA+. And it's time for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette 2-minute drill to break down all the action, thanks to Keith Barnes.
Well, there's a chill in the air, fall is near, and that means high school football season is in full swing. Hi, I'm Keith Barnes of the Post-Gazette, and here again with my colleague Matt Press for the Post-Gazette 2-minute drill. Well, we're nearly a quarter of the way through the season. Matt, what has stuck out for you at this point?
I think for me, it's Avonworth, defending Class 3A champions. We knew they'd be good, but they pushed around Aliquippa last week on their home field. You don't see that too often.
No, you don't.
No, big offensive line, punishing ground game with Dimitri Velaceros, taking on Thomas Jefferson tonight. I think we'll learn a little bit more about Avonworth. They've been really impressive to me so far.
For me, it's been the passing game and the offense at North Catholic. I mean, what they did last week against Blackhawk in a 65-49 game. Joey Felitsky's throwing the ball all over the place. They've got Lucas Shade, who's been running the ball really well. I mean, This is a really good team that could surprise some people in Class 3A. And you mentioned Avonworth. They're in the same conference, so it's going to be kind of interesting when those two meet in a couple of weeks. So let's talk a little bit about this game tonight. We have Bethel Park at West Mifflin. Bethel Park really has kind of been one of those teams. They throw the ball sometimes, and then the 1 week against Mars, they really weren't very successful, but they have a really good passing game. I mean, Evan Devine's number 2 in the WPIAL in passing with, I think he has 778 yards and 6 touchdowns. And don't forget about David Dennison. He's been amazing running the ball. He's got 7 total touchdowns, 666 total yards on the year, and almost 100 touches. He is the go-to guy for Bethel Park.
Yeah, and you were just talking about points with North Catholic. I think we might see a lot of that for Bethel Park here against West Mifflin. First-year head coach for West Mifflin, BJ Pugh, and obviously Armand Hill's one of the better backs in the WPIL, but it's been a little bit of a disappointing start for them, 1-2, and their offense has been a little stagnant at times. So I think they're still trying to figure some things out around Hill.
What do you see in this game? Who do you like?
I like Bethel Park. You mentioned David Dennison. You mentioned Evan Devine. I think they're able to score a lot of points in different ways, and I think West Mifflin just might not be able to find answers for them.
I think Phil Peckett is going to have this team up and running and ready to go, and I think they're going to have their way with West Mifflin. All right, for Matt Press, I'm Keith Barnes of the Post-Gazette. Now back to West Mifflin Titan Stadium.
As always, thanks to Keith Barnes, a sports writer with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, with that Post-Gazette 2-minute drill. And he talked about this game here tonight between West Mifflin and Bethel Park. We know Bethel Park is going to bring an explosive offense. Look at what they did last year in 2 of their games this season it with their wins. But what can we expect from West Mifflin?
Yeah, I think what I'm really excited about to see with West Mifflin is their offense. They have speed, they have athleticism, so they're going to have the opportunity here to maybe create some mismatches. They want to be able to get to the outside. That's going to be ultimately what they want to do. They want to be able to get to the second, third levels, but really without being touched. And I think if they want to have a chance at winning today, they are going to need to do that. They're going to need to out-athletic and be disciplined with Bethel Park. But they're going to have to out-athleticism them for sure.
Yeah, and when we look at West Mifflin, they are being led by newly named head coach BJ Pugh. Like I said earlier, he's an alum from this team. He's really excited to lead this group, and he said that this senior leadership is really what's running this program right now, especially offensively. They're buying into what Pugh brings to this program. Each week they are growing, and they're using that as a catapult tonight against Bethel Park.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to talk with one of their coaches who was a former coach of mine, actually back when I played, and he talked about the discipline and the necessity to kind of work with some of the cuteness that Bethel Park does. And at the end of the day, if they can execute and they can do their job, they're going to give themselves a chance to win, which is all you can ask for.
And speaking of that discipline from West Mifflin, how can they really hone in on that when it comes to their offensive side of the game?
Yeah, so let's take a look here, Susie, at their offense. The first play here, you're going to see they're in pistol formation, H-back in the backfield. You're going to see a twin set, 2 receivers up top. You're going to get the H-back leading the play here, and you're going to get a pulling guard. And what's really cool here, you'll see here when we pause the film, everybody's blocking somebody. Receivers are blocking downfield, H-back, pulling guard, and then it's just running back does his thing. He's able to get them inside the 5-yard line, getting to that second and third level, like I said, untouched. Now, the second play, a little bit different, little less about execution and more just about the speed that they have. You're going to get a jet sweep here, but he accidentally takes the snap himself. As you can see here, no one for Baldwin's really blocked. It's just him outrunning everybody else. And so that just goes to show sometimes it's about the athletes you have. Don't be too cute as an offense. Get the ball to your playmakers out in space and allow them to do what they do best. If West Mifflin can do that, I really do believe they have a chance to cause some chaos here at homecoming.
Bethel Park and West Mifflin both with wins in Week 2 action. We'll see what happens in Week 3 on homecoming weekend here at Titan Stadium. Stay tuned.
This is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Subaru. It's time for the Subaru A Lot to Love event. We've got a tremendous selection of new 2025 Subaru Outbacks in stock. This month, rates are as low as 0.9%. And remember, these are assembled in the United States. Great cars, great selection, all kinds of colors, equipment. Come on up and drive one home today.
The honest dealer, believably different, Bud Bear.
In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there's something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first.
And we're not stopping anytime soon. Our commitment to excellent sales and service remains stronger than ever.
Visit us today and experience the Mike Kelly Automotive difference. Because when you buy from us, you buy from family.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles, we build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
This is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Subaru. It's time for the Subaru A Lot to Love event. We've got a tremendous selection of new 2025 Subaru Outbacks in stock. This month, rates are as low as 0.9%. And remember, these are assembled in the United States. Great cars, great selection, all kinds of colors, equipment. Come on up and drive one home today.
The honest dealer, believably different, Bud Bear.
The stand's filling up here at Titan Stadium on homecoming weekend, and it's your Friday night countdown presented by Bud Bear Subaru on KDKA+. Alongside Colin Johnov, I'm Susie Cole, and now it's time for our very own voice of the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, Matt Fargo, to join us with his, what is it, Colin? Friday night conversation?
You got it.
Of course, with Santino Lamolinere from Bethel Park. Check it out here.
Friday Night Conversations with Santino Lamolinaire.
Yeah.
I nailed it. Bethel Park Blackhawk offensive lineman. I love getting a chance to sit down with some of the guys up front that don't get the spotlight very often, and getting a chance to talk with you. Bethel Park Blackhawks, the expectations always year in and year out, they are always high. And what are your expectations going into the 2015 or 2025 campaign?
Well, this year we really expect a conference championship and a WPIAL championship. The last time we won it was 2008, so it's a big weight on our shoulders to try and get one before we leave.
You just made me feel old because I was here in the stadium here. It was called Heinz Field back then, and watched Bethel win the WPIAL title and going on to the state title that year. Do you remember any of that?
I was born in 2008.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
Now moving forward into this season, guys lost a lot to graduation.
We did.
Who are you expecting to plug in some of those holes at quarterback, running back, some of your receivers, some of the key cogs to your success in the last few years? Need to be new faces in new places.
Yeah, so quarterback is going to be Evan Devine. We expect a lot from him this year. He's going to be a senior, and he can throw it just as far as Tanner Pfeiffer, if not better. And our running back, David Dennison, we expect a lot from him. He had a lot of playing time last year and sophomore year, and he runs hard and he runs downhill. And in that wide receiver position, we lost Ryan Petrus, which is a huge loss. So we expect a lot from Santino Nowajenik. He's a young guy. He'll be a junior this year, and he had a great season last year as a sophomore.
Going to rely a lot on some leadership on the line because of some of those younger guys at skill positions. How do you step in and be a leader on this squad?
I try and guide them throughout practice, tell them where to go, maybe run off the field to water, the little things that add up. And I'm trying to step in this year.
What's life outside of football look like for you? What do you like to do outside of the game?
I love to hang out with friends. I also love to get some extra work in. That's always good for you. I love to see family. I'm a big family guy, so I see them a lot.
What's your hope in moving forward past high school on to college? What's your dream situation in terms of what college looks like for you?
I'm actually making my decision pretty soon.
I thought we were going to get lucky there for a second.
Yeah, so I'll be making my decision soon. It's going to be between Duquesne and Towson. After college, hopefully I can make it to that next level. But if I can't, I'd really like to get a nice education and be successful after college.
Majoring in?
Business.
And what would you love for that to turn into if football isn't the answer?
Entrepreneurship, maybe, or selling things. I could sell you a pen, Wolf of Wall Street style.
Okay. All right, we're going to have to do that.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much and best of luck this year.
Thank you.
Speaking of Matt Fargo, Colin, look who's joining our Friday night conversation, the one and only Matt Fargo, Super Bowl champion with our own Steelers, Mike Logan. Guys?
Thanks so much, Susie, and welcome into the broadcast booth, everybody. That is Mike Logan, Matt Fargo up here with you. And I tell you what, we have a matchup with two teams that love to run the football here tonight between West Mifflin and Bethel Park. They've done it successfully to this part, and I know you're going to like some of these guys. So let's take a look at the Giant Eagle players to watch, Mike, and we'll start with Bethel Park's David Dennison.
David Dennison, man, just an amazing player. Look at him here. Looks like people are scared to hit him. People are just moving out the way. They can't even tackle. They can't bring him down. Shows a burst of speed to get outside. Definitely has some good shiftiness and has hands. Can catch the ball out of the backfield, has great vision. And then look at that. Run him over, take him and drag him into the touchdown.
I also like what he does on the defensive side of the football. He already has 2 forced fumbles. Also has a blocked punt to his credit. That third version of the game in special teams coming up big as well.
Know it well. I know special teams all too well.
Well, let's take a look at West Mifflin's do-it-all running back. He's the West Virginia commit.
Let's go, Go Mountaineers.
Armin Hill.
Oh, Armin Hill, just great vision. Look at this guy. He's able to see people before they even come into the screen. Then he takes a look back at you as his way on his way to the end zone. Great speed, great shiftiness. WVU commit, so you know I'm going to show him love. But guys do not want to tackle him. Look at this. Look at the linebacker right there. He had an attempted shot. The safety had a shot, went down to his knees, touchdown, Armand Hill. I'm looking for him to really get started this game and have a big game.
One of the other factors in this game that should be interesting is this is Bethel Park's first road test of the season, and West Mifflin gets the friendly confines at home. You love the home fans and having the festivities of homecoming at your back.
Oh, yeah, and there's a lot of stuff going on here tonight. They had introduction of a Hall of Fame class. They got recognitions going on out here. And I just rode past Kennywood, and I'm feeling pretty good about the Phantom's revenge down there. So this might be a big game, a revenge game for West Mifflin.
Yeah, we're in for a roller coaster ride. We'll set it back downstairs to Susie Cole and Colin Jonna.
Are you guys trying to go to Kennywood later? Anybody?
A little Friday night action?
We're ready for it. Let's go.
Right outside of Kennywood Park, we're at Titan Stadium here tonight. West Mifflin holding hosts to the Bethel Park Blackhawks. We'll be back with our picks here next.
This is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Subaru. It's time for the Subaru A Lot to Love event. We've got a tremendous selection of new 2025 Subaru Outbacks in stock. This month, rates are as low as 0.9%. And remember, these are assembled in the United States. Great cars, great selection, all kinds of colors, equipment. Come on up and drive one home today.
The honest dealer, believably different, Bud Bear.
Pittsburgh, get ready to see PPG Pace Arena like never before. PPG Pace Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters called the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpacearena.com and book your tour today.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
A house is just 4 walls, but a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots and real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back, year after year. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
Welcome back into the Friday Night Countdown presented by Bud Bear Subaru. One last time tonight alongside Colin Jonoff. I'm Susie Cole, Matt Fargo, Mike Logan will be joining us here shortly for Colin. You know what it is, my favorite segment every single week, Picks of the Week. Because why, Colin?
All I know is I was undefeated last week, so Matt Fargo might have to up that quota on the shout-outs on WPIAL Insider.
We're about to see that, and I just want to let Matt Fargo know that Colin also didn't know that the Logjammer has not been in session for 8 years. Let's get into these picks, though, here tonight, okay, Colin? First up, we have Aliquippa at Mars. This was a tough game for me to call. Aliquippa with a massive loss to Avonworth last week. They just didn't seem to have it together. Mars, however, they're hungry this season. They have won 2 really close games, including one against the offensive powerhouse that Bethel Park is. I'm going to say if Aliquippa wants to prove to me that they are a contender tonight, then they better win. But I'm picking the Fighting Planets to go for that win.
Hey, much like what Pitt is going to do tomorrow to West Virginia, Aliquippa is going to do to Mars tonight. Oh. It is going to be a beatdown. I was really unimpressed with Mars. I do think Mars is a really well-coached team. However, I was really unimpressed with the way that they play. Aliquippa is not losing back-to-back. I think they're going to put a hurting on Mars tonight.
All right, Matt, Mike?
Well, I'm going to give Mike Logan the stage here after that one.
Listen, I'm walking down on the field, and I'm going to see Colin face-to-face, and we'll revisit that pick right there. But I'm going with the Quips as well. I don't think they're going to lose back-to-back. I talked to alumni Chuck Fisher, and he said it won't happen, so I'm going with the Quips.
Yeah, when's the last time Aliquippa's lost 2 in a row? I agree. I think Aliquippa figures it out. They are still a contender, but this could be a rematch of the postseason, and it might go another way.
Looks like I have the hottest take of the night. I've never been completely voted against, and hopefully that doesn't happen with this next pick as well. Thomas Jefferson at Avonworth. Again, Avonworth last week just putting on a clinic against the Quips. Their run game worked, their pass game worked. Their defense was really shifty against a defense that's notorious in the WPIAL and the Quips. And Thomas Jefferson, they cannot figure out their pass game this season. Their leading rusher, Tyler Ebert, was held to 37 yards just last week. If the Quips can force TJ to go to their pass game, or if the Lopes can force TJ to go to their pass game, sorry, I got this all confused right now, then I'm picking the Lopes for the win.
I keep hearing different people say if they can stop their run game, if they can stop their run game. Well, they have to do that. That's a big if. That run game is phenomenal. I'm going TJ. I know that they didn't run the ball well last week. I do think they're going to get back on track this week. I do love Avonworth, though. I think they're a contender. It's just going to be a really good game.
Mike?
Ride the wave. Avonworth had a big win against Quip last week. You got to ride the wave. They have the momentum going. I don't think the train stops at this one.
You know what? This one's a coin flip, and Duke John Core's got the home team and the home field advantage. But Bill Chirpak, I feel like it's just going to do just enough. Offensive line's going to have just enough to give Avonworth all they can handle. Give me Thomas Jefferson in a close one.
All right, so this week just isn't my week. It's fine. We got a 6A conference matchup here finally between Norwin and Seneca Valley. Seneca Valley coming off of a loss last week. Norwin, a massive win against Latrobe, 35-0. And then you look at what they did against Kiski the week before, holding them to just 7 points. Head coach Mike Brown for the Knights saying that his team had the best passing coverage that he's ever seen with a team last week against Latrobe. I'm picking the Knights over Seneca Valley.
Okay, well, we're aligned on this one. Mike Brown's a really good guy. He's a really good coach. I think he's doing really good things at Norwin right now, and I'm going to ride with them. They're hot. Let's stick with them.
All right, Matt, Mike?
Well, since Susie talked about the secondary with the Knights, you know I'm a secondary guy. I'm a DB. Check the win column for the Knights for me as well.
This is an interesting one because Seneca Valley has two good losses, if you want to say quality opponent losses. And on the other side of the coin, you have a team in Norwin that has two losses to the lower level teams. So which one values? Right. I would go with the quarterbacks in this situation. And Mr. Navarez of Norwin, he's going to be the factor for the Norwin Knights. We clean sweep this one.
Last but not least, our very own Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, Bethel Park at West Mifflin. We know what Bethel Park brings. They're great on the line of scrimmage. If they win that tonight against West Mifflin, who's going to play with physicality, but they're still growing each week, according to head coach BJ Pugh, I'm thinking that Bethel Park takes this one away, and it might be ugly for West Mifflin, just like last season.
Yeah, Bethel Park, they are a lot bigger. I know West Mifflin's going to bring everything that they have, but I think Bethel Park comes in tonight. They spoil homecoming. It's a tough matchup. It's a very tough matchup for West Mifflin.
Mike, Matt?
This is going to be very tough for me to say. People don't really know. I was born and really raised in West Mifflin. An alumni. I went here for about 6 years in school. I'm going with Bethel Park, but my heart is with you, West Mifflin. I love you.
I just want to see West Mifflin be able to execute throughout this game. And if they can hang around, this game gets a lot more interesting. Similar to how everybody expected Mars to blow away North Hills last week. Could have a repeat performance, but I say Bethel gets it done. They execute, and they move on with another victory.
All right, well, all these picks up in the air in another week where we just have to wait and see where the picks will land after this Week 3 action. Again, it's West Mifflin holding hosts to Bethel Park on homecoming weekend here at Titan Stadium. That was your Friday night countdown presented by Bud Bear Subaru. The Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week is up next.
JRM Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of WPIAL High School Football, produced by JRM Video Productions.
shout a touchdown. He's going to go all the way. Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Put it all on the line, put it all on the line. I know it's a time. Oh, are you ready? Are you ready? Come on, oh, let's go, oh, let's go.
Welcome to the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. From the shadows of Kennywood Park, welcome high above Titan Stadium, as our Steelers Showcase have our eyes on the West Mifflin Titans matching up against the Bethel Park Blackhawks. And welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Matt Fargo, joined alongside the Super Bowl champ, former Pittsburgh Steeler legend, Mike Logan, in the building for this one. And Mike, two teams that have had roller coaster rides to this point. We're just in the shadows of Kennywood Park, and you talk about the Bethel Park Blackhawks. Will the real Bethel Park please stand up? We've had great offensive performances by them in week 0 and week 2, over 500 total yards of offense. They got tripped up 2 weeks ago against the Mars Planets. Meanwhile, for the West Mifflin Titans, they come in 1-2 after starting the season 0-2. They got things rolling against the Baldwin Highlanders a week ago, and now the question is, with this new head coach, West Mifflin trying to rewrite the script, and the guy with the pen is their new head coach in B.J. Pugh.
And I know B.J. Pugh. I grew up with him. We played some Little League football together. I went down on the field pregame, and he told me he's looking for his team to come out fast. He knows that Bethel Park has the numbers. He knows that they have the manpower, but he's hoping his young team can get it together and come out and just fight early and make it close so they can stay in the game.
That's what it's going to be all about here, and we'll take a look at the St. Vincent Game Changers. Mike, how do you get a win here tonight?
So they have to come out early. West Mifflin has to come out early, a fast start. They have to get the ball into their superstar's hand. Armand Hill, he is going to be their everything. It's going to be a Titans revenge tonight. They're thinking about the blowout win last year. Like I said earlier, the Phantom's revenge is right over our shoulder. They're going to use all that momentum in the home crowd and the homecoming to try to get that W tonight.
And, of course, the key is Armand Hill and that running attack for the Titans. And what will David Dennison be able to counter on the other side of things? Let's check in with another member of our crew, Susie Cole, roaming the sidelines with us. Susie.
Tonight's game is fueled by two different strengths when it comes to the Bethel Park Blackhawks and West Mifflin Titans. Bethel head coach Phil Peckage said that the Titans come with uncertainty with a new coaching staff, limited film. However, they will play physical. So Bethel Park needs to continue to play strong up front. West Mifflin head coach B.J. Pugh immediately pointed out Bethel's explosive offense and the fact that they have weapons on both sides of the ball. So the Titans need to have discipline on their own assignments tonight. Point blank, it's physicality versus offense in this 4A, 5A matchup. We'll see which prevails. Matt?
Susie, thank you, and it will be Bethel Park. Will they be able to play the role of the exterminator here tonight, or will it be West Mifflin being able to ride high and get that revenge? Bethel Park, West Mifflin, the Steelers High School Showcase kickoff coming up next.
Giant Eagle has always been a staple.
They help me at the pharmacy.
I do use the pharmacy. I get my prescription, my milk and bread, and be on my way, and it's like a one-stop shop.
I see the same faces every time I'm here.
It's local, and it's easily accessible.
I always run into my friends and family here.
I love being able to feed my children fresh local food.
I really like the produce here.
My favorite thing,
egg cookies.
This is my Giant Eagle.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons.
Primary care sports medicine physicians.
Board-certified physical therapists.
A comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion.
Nutrition.
Athletic training.
Sports performance.
Everything is right here that you need. So we deliver that right to you.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles, we build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
The 1-2 West Mifflin Titans welcome the 2-1 Bethel Park Blackhawks for our Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week here from West Mifflin, and it is now time for the Shell kickoff. Gas tank is full, and we're ready to rock and roll here on the Steelers Showcase.
As Michael Buffer would say, let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah, and Mike, you're paying all those royalties.
I said ramble.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. As the ball goes into the end zone for a touchback, and we get to see the West Mifflin Titan offense up first. And this is going to be one of those games, Mike, and you've played in so many of them, where it's going to be shorten the game, possess the football, and don't let this one get out of hand early.
The thing is not to get overly excited. West Mifflin came out, they beat Baldwin last week in a big blowout win. They got the momentum going. They're feeling good about themselves. But you can't forget about the basics. I think they should come out, establish the run with their superstar player, and see what happens after that. Just go with the flow of the game.
Zwan Glover goes from the pistol formation. On first down and 10, here the Titans go to Armand Hill, the first carry of the ball game, and he stretches it here to the near side boundary, gets escorted out. Will Sabatis does the escorting as Hill picks up 5 yards on the first play from scrimmage.
And you'll take that every time as a coach. On first down, getting 5 yards with a nice run that shows that your offensive lineman knows what they're doing, they're executing, and Armand Hill is starting to get the motor rolling. You like him to get some positive feedback on the first run of the first touch of the game, and that was it right there, 5 yards.
Ranked by Rivals as the number 4 player in Pennsylvania and 134 in the country in the class of 2027, just a junior. Glover again from the pistol, another call. Oh, it's fumbled, picked up by Glover. He spins his way out of some danger and will just lose a yard. Heads up play there by Glover to avoid what would have been catastrophic on this opening series.
And they're getting a little antsy right now. Hill has some positive yards on the first one. They try to go back to him, and I like it with the mindset, but you got to be execution perfect in this game right now. If West Mifflin wants to stay in it, you can't have mistakes like that and almost cause an early turnover. This game would be over right then if they do that, so they have to hold on to the ball.
3rd down and 6. These West Mifflin Titans didn't make the postseason a year ago. B.J. Pugh steps in and ball got snapped, and that is going to be a false start on everybody but the center.
Listen, they have to calm down right now. You have 2 plays with mistakes. These are things that'll kill you. This will beat you without the opponent even scoring a touchdown right now. You have to get it together. Hopefully they can settle down, get their nerves out, and come back and play ball.
Silly McBeam hanging out with the West Mifflin Titan tonight on homecoming night. 3rd down and 11. Back to pass Glover and more flags. And it's going to be another false start.
Listen, Matt, the last time we called a game together, it was a penalty-filled game.
Yes.
And I don't want to do that again.
We're off to
so
a hard
West
start.
Mifflin has to get it together immediately. I'm tired of seeing laundry on the field right now. Still maybe a lot of emotions for homecoming and everything else that they got going on here, but they really need to settle down. After a positive run on the first play, all mistakes.
Yeah, homecoming and Hall of Fame induction class presented before kickoff tonight. 3rd down and 16. And rolling and in trouble now is Glover, and he is bottled up and pulled down quickly for Bethel Park. Jack Johnson. It's a great name for a linebacker to make that play. It's 4th down.
It's a great name for a linebacker, but that wasn't great execution by the West Mifflin Titans on that first series right there. After coming out with a great gain of 5 yards on the first play, they went backwards, whether it was by penalty, by misexecution, or by fumbling the ball. Right now they're in punt formation, and that doesn't look good for the first offensive series.
And it's Jeffrey to punt it away. Bruckner on the return for the Blackhawks. He breaks the tackle and then gets some help. Nicely done special teams. Ball. He was able to secure it. That's a nice tackle there. Dasani Terrell on the tackle for the Titans. When we come back, Bethel Park's first touch of the football on a Steelers High School Showcase Friday night on KDKA+.
Turkey's in season at Eaton Park. Whether you're craving it hot, stacked, Pittsburgh style, or served up with all the fixings, we've got you covered. Starting at just $10.99. Add a slice of pumpkin pie to any of these favorites for only $1.99. Only at Eaton Park.
Pittsburgh, get ready to see PPG Pace Arena like never before. PPG Pace Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters called the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpacearena.com and book your tour today.
Fall is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Primanti Brothers, Shorty's Tap and Taco, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
At Hello Bistro, we keep it fresh. Fresh flavors, fresh choices, endless ways to build what you're craving. Because food should be as bold as you are. You deserve fresh. Only at Hello Bistro.
From West Mifflin Titan Stadium, Bethel Park's first touch of the football on a 1st down and 10. And David Dennison gets the call, and he breaks a few tackles. Dennison lowers his shoulder, and he's down to the 25-yard line. First touch and a chunk play for the Blackhawks.
And that looked really, really scary right there. It looked like West Mifflin defenders did not want to hit Dennison. He was running people over as he was going to the ground. I thought that was going to be a touchdown. West Mifflin has to be ready to step up in the hole and hit him.
26 yards on the run for Dennison. Shotgun formation for Devine, and he'll take off with it and run with it. And he's capable, ducking inside the 20-yard line. Evan Devine, quarterback, wins the quarterback battle this offseason. Talked to Phil Peckich. He said much of it was on 7-on-7s, but you always got to see the guys, how they react in pads at the end of the day.
Well, on that run right there, he looked pretty good in pads to me. The West Mifflin defenders looked like they didn't want to hit him, so.
2nd down and 2. Dennison another call and more yards after contact for the great 8 of Bethel Park. Should be good enough for 1st down yardage, and it is.
Matt, the demeanor of the Titan defenders is looking really, really suspect right now. They're looking like they really don't want to stick their face mask up in there and make a play. They have to come out with a little more enthusiasm.
Dennison this year, 483 yards, 5 touchdowns on the ground. Gets another 9 on that carry. But what's scary about this offense, Mike, is we talked about Dennison, almost 500 yards of offense to this point on the ground, but also their ability to pass the football. And Evan Devine, he has over 700 yards of passing yards.
The way this series has started off, though, it doesn't look like he will need to pass the ball at all. Dennison has been running through defenders like it was Jell-O right now.
And they hand it off here on 2nd down and 1. Pushing the pile forward, a new tailback. This time they give it off to Tyler Miller. It comes in to spell Dennison, picks up a 1st down. It's 1st and goal now at the 4.
And even on that short pickup right there, Miller looks like he's just fighting and chugging for yards. The line of scrimmage is steadily going towards the goal line and not going back. So they're winning the line of scrimmage right now.
1st down and goal for Bethel Park. And Devine goes under center for the first time, and Bethel Park jumps. Going to be the first false start penalty on the Blackhawks tonight.
You know it's not a good sign when the most exciting thing for West Mifflin is a penalty flag on the opposite team. As soon as he jumped, all the players are pointing over at him saying, it was him, it wasn't us. So that ain't a good sign for West Mifflin.
Our referee tonight is Tyler Shutterly. Umpire Mackenzie Quinn, line judge Sean Baker, head linesman Kurt Shutterly, field judge is Jordan Hartman, and the side judge Connor Shutterly. So a lot of Shutterleys on the officiating crew here tonight. 1st down and goal after the penalty from the 9 now. And back into the belly of Dennison, and David picks his way to the 6.
Number 3, Darnell Carswell stepped up in the hole that time, met Dennison in the hole. He's showing that he wants to play. Hopefully his teammates will feed off his momentum and start to make some stops.
Dennison, he catched on late last year, was kind of second behind Javion Moore, who graduated. 3.5 GPA, just got an invitation to Robert Morris game on Saturday. He moved defensively from corner to outside backer this year. I mentioned those 2 forced fumbles already this year. And a timeout taken here by Bethel. We'll burn one with them here on the showcase on KDK Plus.
In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there's something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first.
And we're not stopping anytime soon. Our commitment to excellent sales and service remains stronger than ever.
Visit us today and experience the Mike Kelly Automotive difference. Because when you buy from us, you buy from family.
Hi, this is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Mazda. It's time for the Mazda More to Move You summer event. We have a great selection of new 2025 Mazda CX-50s. These are assembled in the United States. We have 1.9% financing on those up to 60 months. Save money and drive one home today. All of our current inventory is unaffected by tariffs.
The honest dealer, believably different, Bud Bear.
Did you know you can make your home or building look brand new? For the whole project, or just spot repointing, make your home exterior brand new like when it was built. Call or visit Mariani-Richards.com.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine, JBU Life, Giant Eagle, grocery shopping made easy.
Sunsets in September, forever.
Yeah.
Nothing like them.
Right in my vision to the field, so I'm on the screen right now.
Well, right now Bethel Park has visions of the end zone as Devine goes on a second and goal. He flips it in front of him for a touchdown as Charlie Simmons makes the reception for the Bethel Park Blackhawk touchdown. Bethel on the board first.
Matt, I know your birthday was the other day, and I don't know if you had any cake, but if they put a knife in it and slice through it, that looked like what Bethel Park just did on the field to West Mifflin's defense. It was too easy for them to just run through the middle of that defense all the way down the field. 6-0 right now, waiting for the extra point.
Devine with the flick of the wrist for that touchdown. And now Xavier Jackson on to attempt the extra point. That extra point is good as Jackson puts it through the poles. And now Bethel Park has a 7-0 lead. We'll be back here on KDKA Plus after this.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
You might not see the people's pipelines that deliver you safe, reliable natural gas every day because they are out of sight, hiding beneath your feet. But what's out of your sight is not out of our minds. We move through busy city streets to upgrade the infrastructure that served our region for decades, using state-of-the-art materials that reduce emissions to power homes and businesses with essential energy for generations to come. That's people's commitment to making your life better.
You know, when Gary's call came in, just by the sound of the call, you knew that this was a bad injury.
When I saw Gary in the hospital room, they were afraid that his injuries were so severe that the lower leg wouldn't be salvageable. It was 50-50 as to whether Gary was going to keep the lower limb.
My name's Gary. When I needed help the most, Edgar Snyder was there for me. I wouldn't have wanted no one else. I'm glad they were my team, straight up.
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. With a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! A deep ball here that's caught and going all the way to the end zone. 7-0 Bethel Park leads West Mifflin. Early moments of our Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. As Xavier Jackson puts the boots into this one into the back of the end zone. And now time for our Kelly Automotive drive recap. 7 plays, 49 yards, took 3:18 off that first quarter clock. Drive recaps brought to you by our friends at Kelly Automotive.
I don't know what to say, Matt. I was trying to conjure up some good old mojo from my days at West Mifflin where we had tough, hard-nosed football teams. That wasn't it right there. That didn't look too impressive on either side of the ball for West Mifflin starting out. Hopefully they can regroup and get some things together on this second drive.
You know, B.J. Pugh understands that this is a work in progress, and so much progress was shown last week in that win against Baldwin, getting to see it between the white lines. And look, they only lost to Elizabeth Ford that first week by 14 in the KDK Kickoff Classic out there at the Wolverina. Glover going to try to swing it out here to Hill. And a great open field tackle. David Dennison doing it on both sides of the football. And, man, colleges need to pay attention to 8 because he can do it on both sides.
Yeah, he can definitely do it on both sides of the ball. He's showing up and showing out. I do like how West Mifflin is trying to mix it up a little bit. I know that Armand Hill is their star. They said we got to try to get the ball out of his hands and get it into some other people's hands to try to create something. But Bethel Park just looks really tough on all aspects of the game.
Second down and 11 after a loss of 1. Of course, West Mifflin featured with Armand Hill, that top 50 in the country. Will be back at West Mifflin as a senior next year. Caught everybody by surprise his freshman year, and here's Hill trying to bounce it to the outside. Hill's got the corner, and it will go into contact. Slide it in to make that tackle is Santino Noah Zenik on the tackle for the Blackhawks. And Got to love that Hill wasn't afraid of the contact there.
Listen, I'm excited about that play right there. It shows me that he's not giving up. Hopefully that'll inspiration will go and feed off to some of his team right there. But that was a hard-nosed run for just 4 or 5 yards, but I liked his enthusiasm on it.
Third down for the Titans. Of course, quarterback that was pegged to be the starter took off for Westinghouse for the Titans, as Glover just going to chuck this into the seats. Incomplete with heavy pressure barreling in on him. He was able to get it away and make it 4th down and 6.
Well, Glover tried to roll out to his left here, and he couldn't find anyone open, so he just decided to chuck the ball out of bounds. Not too bad of a play on 3rd down. Didn't want to take a sack, so he'll give the ball back to Bethel Park, and hopefully their defense can come out and make a stand.
Yeah, Bethel Park, after taking the care of Seneca Valley in week 0, 43-26, had a 17-13 loss to 4A Mars. We saw Mars last week win in epic fashion over North Hills. Punt is away. That was Austin Riley doing the punting duties. And a decent return here for Bruckner with a flag or 2 down.
3 or 4 flags on the field right there. Getting their laundry dirty early here in West Mifflin.
But to finish the thought, Bethel Park had a great bounce back last week, 56-28 over Armstrong. Holding is declined, and another holding will be accepted. So 2 penalties against Bethel Park. They'll take one of them, and let's check in with Susie Cool down on the sideline. Susie.
Thanks, Matt. You and Mike talked about the growth that West Mifflin has already had this season, and when asked what the best part of this West Mifflin football team was, head coach BJ Pugh didn't point out size or speed. He said potential. Pugh believes that this team has all the right pieces, athleticism, toughness, and playmakers, but the real key is consistency. If the Titans can all play with one heartbeat, Pugh really feels they can surprise people this season and even tonight against Bethel. Matt?
Yeah, Susie, it's a great point. And BJ told me, he said, you know what, we're not losing. We're either going to win or we're going to learn. And that's a great mindset for a head coach.
That's a great even quote right there to even say that. You know, you got young players on this team. Even if the score gets out of hand, they have to go out and execute. And that's a great quote for him to say that they're going to learn.
Devine checking it deep in a stretch attempt there that cannot connect, incomplete, trying to find Noah Zinnick on the reception. It goes incomplete, and you see the arm strength from Devine, and Phil Peckage is very excited about his young quarterback.
Devine just missed right there. He had a step on Jose Perez right there, number 1 for West Mifflin, and if he would have been able to just outstretch his arm a little bit, I think we'd have been dialing up another 6 points.
Devine came into tonight 47 of 77. 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, as Dennison is stacked up this time nicely. Justice McKinney leading the way for the blue and gold.
There was positives and negatives on that play right there, even though it was negative for Bethel Park and losing yards. But Dennison still didn't go down when 3 people were pushing him and had him stomped up right on the line of scrimmage. They were able to push him back. But I just want to see a little more effort out of the Titans right now and show that they're still enthused about playing this football game. If they don't, it's going to get out of hand really, really quick.
228.7 all-purpose yards per game for Dennison, 7 total touchdowns on the season. 3rd down and 13. Big play here for the Titan defense, if they can lock it down. And here's Devine looking near side, now looks across the middle, and he's got Bruckner on the reception at the 45-yard line. That was actually Jovian Smith on the reception, and he picks up a Bethel Park 1st down as he finds the open seam there for the Blackhawks.
I was just about to say it, man. Jovian Smith runs right up the seam, and it seems like no West Mifflin player was able to identify him because he was wide open on that, made it the pitch and catch look really, really easy.
30 yards on the pitch and catch in the 1st down. Sets up Bethel Park at the 41-yard line. 3-minute mark of our 1st quarter. Bethel leads it 7-0, and they're driving as Devine back to Dennison off the left side, and chunk yardage there for the tailback as he's inside the 35-yard line.
Well, I don't know, Matt. I mean, I used to be a tailback back in my day. The way those holes are opening up, I think I could still fit through them right now, and I'm getting ready to turn 51 next on Monday. So that's not saying a lot right there. West Mifflin has to stand up, stay stout in them gaps, and try not to create such open lanes for Denison.
Happy early birthday.
Appreciate it, man. Happy belated to you as well.
Thank you.
Virgo season. Let's go.
Right. Let's do it. Second down and 3. Pitch left to Denison. And he has the first down and will just cruise control out of bounds. Happy with the fresh set of downs for Bethel.
You said it right there, cruise control. It looks like Bethel Park is just relaxed. They're going out, they're just executing. No problems, no conflict. They don't feel like they have any adversity to overcome right now. Everything's coming so easy, and I know I keep saying that, but it really is that easy out there for them.
And a timeout being asked for here.
The Boosters are coming around with 50-50. As always,
timeout taken by Bethel Park. They will have one left already, as Phil Peckich wanted to talk things over.
And I think Coach Pugh wants to talk things over with his defense, too. I mean, there's one thing to say, okay, this team is just offensively better than us. They're able to go out and create what they want to do. But we have to show that we want to be here. We want to show that we want to play in this football game, and we're not just going to lay down flat. So hopefully he can give his guys a little kick in the butt, and they come out with a little enthusiasm. They may not be able to completely stop them, but at least they can show up and show and be in their face and say that they want to play this football game.
Yeah, you're talking about Pugh taking over. Of course, West Mifflin alum, played quarterback at the home of the Titans, learned under Ray Brazo, legendary coach who coached here at West Mifflin. He's a part of the George Novak coaching tree.
Oh, yeah.
Over there at Woody High and Steel Valley before that. Pre-snap penalty here. False start on Bethel Park. But to kind of round it out, really interesting background in Pugh. 4-year starter at Bethany College at free safety. Then he was an assistant here at West Mifflin. Left, won a WPIAL championship as an assistant coach at Clarendon. Came back to West Mifflin for a year before he became the DC at Steel Valley under Ray Brazo. Then he was the McKeesport offensive coordinator as Denison takes this one out of bounds after a gain of 7. And after being the OC at McKeesport, a stint at Elizabeth Ford. And then for the last 8 years, Mike, he stepped away to be the most important position you could be, a dad. Watched his son Jake at Thomas Jefferson and then at W&J.
Nothing beats that. Everything fails in comparison to being a dad. I understand why he took the leave, but now he's back and he's ready to get this young team going.
Denison on a second down and 4. He'll get the carry, breaks the tackle, another arm tackle, and he carries a few would-be tacklers with them inside the 5. Sets up a 1st and goal for Bethel Park.
Denison's looking like Leonard Fournette right now out there. And you know how he was just used to carry people to the end zone, and they're back on the ball?
Tempo with Devine going tush push, quarterback snake, and I think they roll him down.
Touchdown?
There was no signal.
No signal? All right. All right, well, we're going to call it.
Touchdown.
We're calling it touchdown. There we go. Touchdown.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, listen, that was so easy. The referees even said, we don't even need to put our hands up. You know it's a touchdown.
Devine gets in. Extra point from the right foot of Xavier Jackson is good. And with a minute 26 to go in the first, it is Bethel Park 14, West Mifflin nothing. Another look on the Devine sneak and tush push.
Easy like Sunday morning.
How about Santino LeMolinaire pushing him forward? And I don't know. I'm always on the side of the officials, but we're talking pay if we're not getting the arms up in the air.
Yeah, right? We're up here looking, saying, well, is it a touchdown? I think they just took for granted that we seen that it was going in the end zone. But, you know, if you're West Mifflin right now, you're Coach Pugh, you have to find something. You have to find one individual player who's ready to say, hey, listen, the scoreboard shows we're getting punched in the mouth, but our effort needs to show that we're still willing to go out here and play this football game. So I'm just looking at the players and seeing their demeanor. We knew that if Bethel Park got started, that we could be in for a long day. But at least you should get some players who are out there saying, we want to fight till the end.
From the 5-yard line, a return here for the Titans. That's Mifflin, Taryn Wright on the return. Gets tossed out there. And we'll get another opportunity to see this West Mifflin offense. And Mike, you know, Armin took the WPIAL by storm his freshman year. He's already started at defensive back, gets a shot at running back due to an injury. In a game versus Hopewell his freshman year, get ready for this, 495 yards and 5 touchdowns, a single game yardage total mark that ranks second in WPIAL history.
How many yards did you say?
495.
In one game?
Yes.
That is amazing. He should have maybe saved some of those yards for this game right here because this not looking good.
Well, Hill gets the carry, going to extend the play here to the near side boundary, but great containment by Bethel Park. Will Sabatis, first one on the scene.
The LOS right there moved completely backwards. If you don't know what LOS is, it's the line of scrimmage. It was all the way back in West Mifflin territory right there on that Armand Hill. Tried to use his speed to get to the outside, but he couldn't get around the corner.
Another look at it on the UPMC Sports Medicine instant replay.
Nice play by Will Sabatis, number 12.
Get you that drive summary of that last drive for Bethel Park after this play is pushed forward there by Hill. And, you know, part of this is a little bit of a remake and shuffling of the offensive line and finding where those holes and plugging those holes in the right places. That's what this is for a lot. And West Mifflin's trying to get it right and get it ready for conference play.
And I understand that. You know, that they know that they had, you know, a pretty small chance of really coming out and beating and winning this game. But you want to see execution. I mean, you can't just come out and say, okay, we can't beat them, we can't move them, we're just going to go. You go to your fundamentals, you try to do the best thing that you can learn. I mean, best thing that you can do, and you already said it. Coach Pugh said that, hey, we may lose, but we're going to learn. You can't learn if you're not giving full effort, and I'm not seeing full effort out there today.
We'll have a full effort of the second quarter when we come back on the Steelers Showcase. Bethel leads at 14-0.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons.
Primary care sports medicine physicians.
Board-certified physical therapists.
A comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion.
Nutrition.
Athletic training.
Sports performance.
Everything is right here that you need. So we deliver that right to you.
And we'll welcome you back here to West Mifflin. Second quarter action of our Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette with Mike Logan, Matt Fargo, Susie Cool down on the sidelines. West Mifflin trails Bethel Park 14-0 after 12. We'll play 12 more here. 3rd down and 9. And back to passes Glover under duress, and he's tossed down, sacked on the play. Jovian Smith smothers Glover.
Jovian Smith shot in there so quick. I thought Glover was going to be able to get around the corner. I like what West Mifflin did there. They tried to spread him out, brought 4 wides out there, but the offensive lineman just completely whiffed on Jovian Smith, and he was able to come in and make a sack.
There was a defensive penalty on Bethel Park, a 15-yard variety. Trey Johnson, I believe, is the guilty party.
Did you see what the penalty was? I didn't
not
see anything on the replay. But negates big sack. They said 15-yarder.
So it's still fourth and
still
6.
fourth down.
It's not an automatic first down. And Phil Peckage showing that speed that he had at Montour back in the day. He was a 4-year starter. Started all 48 games he played at Montour in high school football. He was a 2010 grad. He was also a Bethel Park. Yep.
There we go.
There it is. It was the taunt by Trey Johnson, who was a spectator on the play.
Yeah. I think he had some choice words to share with Glover right there as he was down on the ground. But, you negate a big play for a sack, but it's still fourth down. That's a 15-yard penalty. So how far back was the sack?
Yeah, exactly.
And with 15 yards, it still didn't get the first down. It's 4th and 6 to go.
Yep.
Lucky break there.
Yeah, sometimes ball even bouncing the Blackhawks' way when they make a mistake here.
Right.
4th down at 6. Glover sends a man in motion, gets the one-handed snap, and look to pooch kick it, will throw instead, fires a dart but cannot connect with his intended receiver. Tried to find Taryn White on the near side.
He dropped that?
He did.
Oh, my goodness. Listen, I was just saying, what coaching adjustments is Coach Pugh going to make on offense out there? They went out there, act like they were going to pooch kick it, was able to throw the ball out, and then they get a receiver who drops the ball.
Yeah, that would have been enough for the first down, but instead you hand the ball back over to Bethel, who's up 14-0 at now the West Mifflin 30-yard line. This is Christmas morning coming early for Phil Peckage, who also doubles as the team's offensive coordinator.
Yeah, you can't blame Glover for trying to get the first down. He had a guy wide open. He just dropped the ball. Kind of like the, go get them attitude right there, but it didn't work in their favor.
Devine from the shotgun. And they go to the slant pattern. That will earn them 6. Touchdown, Bethel Park. Charlie Simmons, how about a second time tonight?
That was a smooth play right there. Ran the play action, ran the sluggo. Thought he was running the slant. He just carries it up the seam right through the post. Easy pitch and catch. No resistance from the defensive line. No resistance from the linebacker, supposed to be going back underneath that. And no resistance from the defensive back until they get in the end zone. They got to push off.
30-yard pass and catch. Extra point from the right foot of Xavier Jackson. We get flags here.
I think he missed that kick right there, right? It hit the.
Yeah.
If there's a flag, and I guess it is. Oh, no. Flag on West Mifflin.
Bethel Park's running off the field as if
maybe they're going for 2.
They might just decide to go for 2 here as Xavier Jackson's already back getting the block to kick off. And here comes the offense. Work on some 2-point opportunities here. Push. And how about West Mifflin? Defense stopping the pile short.
Ooh. Little momentum there.
Yes, no doubt.
Showing that they still have some fight in them.
Some say that the tush push is indefensible. West Mifflin says, hey, we can make the stop here, but Bethel Park leads it 20-0. We'll come back with more after this on KDK Plus.
I think this is a model institution. You are a point of pride here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You understand that going to college is also about what you do after college and making sure you are arming your students with the opportunity to have the skills they need to go out and chart their own path to success in their futures.
Miller's Mini Storage has the extra room you need. For more than 3 decades, our storage facility in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania has offered secure, affordable, and accessible storage solutions. Miller's Mini Storage has you covered. Simply bring a lock and key to keep your items safe at our location. New insulated units are available with dawn to dusk access. Storing with us is easy and convenient. Visit millersministorage.com today and reserve your space. Miller's Mini Storage. Your space, your way.
College isn't for everyone, but from pay to training to retirement, Pennsylvania Laborers Union members live better. PA Laborers Union offers a great wage potential of $42 per hour and terrific health benefits. Imagine having 0 student loans while receiving state-of-the-art construction training. Join the team and get mentorship and guidance from experienced members. Go now to laborparecruit.com for more information.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons,
Primary care sports medicine physicians,
Board-certified physical therapists,
A comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion.
nutrition.
athletic training,
sports performance.
Everything is right here that you need. So we deliver that right to you.
Welcome back into the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, where Bethel Park is up 20-0 over West Mifflin tonight on homecoming weekend here at Titan Stadium, alongside defensive lineman for your Pittsburgh Steelers, Logan Lee. I'm Susie Cole, and Logan, we got to get this out of the way. Who is this with you tonight?
This is Sutton Lee. This is his first interview too, so it's pretty exciting for him.
And he's very nervous, obviously. Sutton, just 9 months old. So cute, so cute. Little old man. Logan, you are from Illinois. You're taking in your first game under the lights on a Friday night in Pittsburgh. First impressions?
It's pretty neat just being able to see the Friday night lights. It's something really special when you're growing up and you're able to do that. And I think I've been to 2 football games since I've been into college, so it's pretty neat being back.
That's a good answer by Dad, right, Sutton? Yeah, okay. Logan, this is going to be your first true season with the Steelers. Last year you were injured, so what can Steelers fans expect from you this year?
Yeah, I'm a man who's willing to put in the work, who's willing to do the best for the team, not just himself. So I'm been beyond blessed with the opportunity to be a part of this organization. I'm looking forward to the year to come.
Logan, we're looking forward to seeing you in action on Sunday at Acrisure Stadium. Matt and Mike, how'd you like meeting Sutton today?
You know, it's always great to see a Pittsburgh Steeler on the sidelines, but I think Sutton might have stole the show there on that one.
He definitely stole the show right there. Logan didn't have a chance in that one. Cute kid, man.
Did you ever think about naming one of your kids Logan?
No. But my wife did want to name one of the kids Logan. She said, "You messed it up for me by marrying me." So
too good. I don't know. That would have been interesting.
Logan.
Logan.
You know.
Guy's so nice they named him twice, right? First down at 10 for West Mifflin. They go over the middle, have a first down. Jose Perez climbs the ladder and has a Titan fresh set of downs.
That play looked familiar.
It
That
sure
was
did.
the play that Bethel Park just ran on them to score. West Mifflin comes back with a little sluggo of their own. Fakes the slant, runs it right up there to the post, gets a nice pickup on the play.
13.
Get a little momentum. Just execute one play at a time. It doesn't matter what the score is right now. Go out there, execute. Let your players do what they can do, and it may not change the momentum of the game, but at least you're learning, like Coach says.
High snap pulled down by Glover. They give it to Hill. Hill's in trouble. Hill's stacked up, but he got away from it, and they had blown the forward progress dead. Oh, my goodness.
Come on, Mr. Official. Come on, Mr. Official. You didn't have your mics early in the game, but now you got the whistles, and you're blowing them a little prematurely. Let that young man eat. Let him eat.
He was in some trouble, stacked up, and I'm with you, Mike. I thought he shrugged it off in time.
Man, let him eat. That dude has some agility. He has a great sense of balance right there. He was able to gather his feet, and I was looking forward to him seeing after he broke that tackle what he can do.
We're talking about Hill and the almost 500 yards he rushed for against Hopewell his freshman year. They go jet motion here, and White carries forward Ball came loose. West Mifflin able to jump on it.
Listen, they have to play mistake-free football. Even on that play right there, you get a little fumble at the end of it. Don't try to do too much. Don't get too excited when you get a gain. Just hold on to the ball. Get what you can get. Let your offense line up on the next play and see if they can get the first down.
I thought the ground couldn't cause a fumble, right?
It can, but it's just not, it's not legal.
Right.
I had a few of those in my day.
No doubt. 3rd down 10. Glover going to set up the screen pass to Hill, and Hill tries to shake his way free, got at the 35-yard line, but he was met quickly as KK Kaweba on the tackle there for Bethel Park.
And did you see how fast Jack Johnson was able to react to that screen right there, number 45? He was able to adjust, sniff out the screen, get to the sideline, and force him into his teammate's lap, and he was able to get him tackled before he picked up a big gain.
Fourth down, and the big fella, Austin Riley, 6'4", 240-pound senior, also does the punting.
They don't even have 11 players on the field, and that frustrates a coach more than anything.
They ran one on late there on this 4th down that goes over the head of Riley. He's in trouble, and he's bobbled around, able to fall down, but he was going to be rolled down, and Bethel Park is going to get great field position at the 22-yard line. And just a series of unfortunate events for the Titans.
And it all falls down. Right now, West Mifflin can't even get 11 players on the punt team, and then the snap goes over the punter's head. You see number 7, Kevon Morris, running onto the field late. The center snaps the ball over the punter's head. Instead of just falling on the ball, he tries to get up and lost a couple more yards. So Bethel Park will start this drive from their 22. Titans still scrambling around on defense as well.
And Devine goes back to work offensively here for Bethel Park. And whistles, flags flying everywhere. It's a full start on Bethel.
Listen, you know it's bad when I'm getting excited about all the referees throwing their flags out at the same time. Looks like terrible towels on the field right there.
Getting ready for the home opener on Sunday. Seattle comes to town.
Oh, yeah.
That's always a great matchup. A fun, I'm sure you look back on that matchup fondly.
Going to the game Sunday with my father as a little early birthday present to myself. Me and my father have never been to the game together as fans. He was either working as a cameraman or I was playing on the field.
Of course, going to the right side, and it is a Bethel Park touchdown. Going all the way, Will Sabatis punches in. Another Bethel Park touchdown.
Did he get touched on that play? I don't think he was touched by a West Mifflin player right there. It shouldn't be that easy for him to get into the end zone. Bethel Park is really running on all cylinders right now. This could get very, very ugly. We still have 8 minutes left in the quarter, and it's already 26-0.
Sabatis goes from 27 away as they go to the bag of tricks. Phil Peckage is an offensive coordinator under Lucero at Montour before being an assistant coach at Bethel, and now in his 3rd season with the Blackhawks. Has those Bethel Park Blackhawks rolling tonight, 27-0 over West Mifflin here on the Steelers Showcase.
Have a nice day, family.
What would they do without me?
Can someone fix my hair?
Must have cheesy eggs.
I can't find my keys.
No! Annoying! Never! I'm the king of
Oh, I need some help.
I better get more life insurance.
You're irreplaceable, but a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide your family with the resources for a well-planned future. Visit gbu.org to get started.
Fall is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Primanti Brothers, Shorty's Tap and Taco, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
Welcome to La Roche University, where experience isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of life.
At La Roche, our students thrive by putting their ideas into action.
So we came in today just kind of getting a general idea of valuing a model and how it is done in actual real-life time.
I think what they're doing in La Roche with the applied learning has a lot of value for the students. They're able to see the real-world numbers come to life, and that has a lot of impact for them.
La Roche University, engaging minds, embracing the world.
Quiet on set? No way. This is Jake's time to shine, and Ryan's, and our crew. Cameras, check. Drones, check. Checking that shot we just checked? Double check. We ain't got time to chill. We're out here capturing this action. This is when we get to work, to bring you every moment live, no matter what. Broadcasting changes everything. Transform how you experience the game with JRM Video Production.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Herc Rentals, Kelly Automotive, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, the Steel Curtain at nearby Kennywood inside Steelers country. And Mike, you had the pleasure of reopening this roller coaster just a few months ago.
Yeah, and my anxiety was getting high as I even just looked around those curves right there. Me and YA Black went on the roller coaster. Well, I got on. YA got kicked off because he was too big. They could not get the hook down for him to get locked into place, so I had to ride it dolo by myself.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we got to get Susie Cool and Colin Johnov strapped in maybe later tonight over there at Kennywood. Time now for the Kelly Automotive Drive Summary. This is as fast as you're going to get. One play, it's 27 yards and 7 seconds off. And by the way, Mike, the last drive was one play, 7 seconds, 30 yards. So the last two drives, a total of 14 seconds, 7 seconds apiece.
So you said one was 27 yards and the other one was 30 yards? I'm trying to allocate what the 40-yard time would be within that time right there, that time frame. Both plays in 7 seconds, but it's been that easy for Bethel Park's offense tonight. They've been able to do what they want with West Mifflin's defense. And I don't know. I'm getting kind of scared. I'm getting anxiety like I'm riding the steel curtain again.
It has certainly been downhill here for Bethel Park, and now they're going to go Wildcat with Hill operating it, and he goes into some trouble and was able to avoid one would-be tackler, and then help arrived. That help in the form of Tim Ondo making the stop for Bethel Park. Trey Johnson had his paws on him but couldn't yank him down.
Yeah, I get what West Mifflin's doing. They're trying to create anything to get the ball in their best players' hands. They're going to Wildcat. They're trying to run some reverses. They're trying to roll them out. But everything that they're coming up with, nothing is working. Bethel Park's ready for everything. That defense is charged up. And this is, as a defensive player, you start slobbering at the mouth. You start salivating about what kind of plays you can make. And they're going to go out there and just go all out, let their hair down, put their fangs back, and just try to bite everything that West Mifflin is doing. And so far, they've been able to do that. They've been successful at everything they're doing on defensively.
Now, Bethel Park is a program that has been to the semifinals in 5A 2 of the last 3 years. They lose all of their starters that start on offense. They return 7 starters on defense, and you can see why. But you lose the 13th all-time leading passer in the WPIAL and Logan Pfeiffer. You lose your leading tailback, you lose your leading receiver, and they have plugged and play, and the great programs know how to do that.
Yeah, and I was going to talk about the defense. You said they returned 7 starters from defense. That defense last year held opponents to 16.3 per game, which was 5th best in the WPIAL.
That's all classifications, by the way, is getting the legs churning there to the 10, and let's check in with Susie Cole.
Thanks, Matt. Well, Bethel Park brought back a solid core of players. Several key players moved on from last year's team, meaning that this year a lot of guys have had to step up into bigger roles right away. Head coach Phil Peckage said this has led to some uncertainty and stress for him at times already this season. However, he's seen real development week to week with this group, and if they can stay healthy, then the Blackhawks will be in a really good position once conference play starts. Matt?
Yeah, and that's the goal, right, is to get into conference play, and it's backloaded in 5A where it's essentially your last 5-6 games of the season. So it's a balancing act, Mike, of having to execute and figuring out your Jimmies and Joes, but also keeping those important Jimmies and Joes healthy for the back half of the season.
Yeah, and you're seeing that throughout the WPIAL this year. Until teams get into conference play, they're holding out some of their players. I know a couple of weeks ago, McKeesport held out their running back, Keemon Spell, just to say, okay, we're going to wait to try to get into conference play. But it doesn't matter what Bethel Park is doing. They're out here still executing and still making plays regardless of who's in there.
High snap pulled down by Hill. Hill looking to throw it. Hill throws on the money for a first down and more. Biggest play of the day for West Mifflin as Armin Hill shows his arm and finds Devin Brown for the Titan first down.
Armin Hill, Mr. Everything for West Mifflin right now. WVU commit. Figured I'd talk about WVU and that backyard brawl coming up tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
And did you see they extended the backyard brawl 4 more years onto what they already have. So we'll be having that backyard brawl for the next few years to see.
That was a 19-yard pass and catch. And they go back to the West Virginia commit, Armin Hill, and he carries forward. And this is a guy who originally got offered by Penn State his sophomore season. Then Pitt came calling, and then shortly thereafter West Virginia. And then the offers kept piling in, and he was convinced by the Mountaineers to head south.
Something about those country roads, I tell you. Or maybe it's the barrels of moonshine. I don't know. Either one of those things right there. But I'm sure he won't get into any of that maybe until he graduates. But
right.
It's beautiful. Almost heaven, West Virginia.
Armin Hill, a quiet guy, lead by example guy, not a rah-rah guy. As he takes this wildcat formation to the right side, and he said he lost his grandfather his freshman year, and that was one of the biggest inspirations, something he says he thinks about often when he gets on a field. And, how strong and passionate somebody can be with having that kind of power in your mind when you put it between the white lines.
I'll give you a story, man. My mother was terminally ill before we went to the Super Bowl. And one of my main things that season, that Super Bowl XL season, was just to go out there and give it my all and make it to the Super Bowl. I was able to do that. That dream was able to come to fruition. My mother was able to come to that Super Bowl and watch me play, and she said that was one of the greatest things that she's ever seen, see her baby accomplish their dream. So I'm sure that Armin Hill is using some of that motivation to go out here. And as you can see, he's being Mr. Everything tonight. Hopefully he can get some help out there, because you don't want to see this young man get burnt out in a game that's probably meaningless, but he's using that as motivation.
No doubt, in storybook.
Yeah.
To have that written that way. And
it's awesome, man. I still feel her vibes when I watched that game. She unfortunately passed away in 2008, the year I retired. And but she got to see that. She got to see that dream come to fruition, and I used that for motivation.
That's the best. Always getting to see, knowing mom gets to see you make it.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to all the moms watching tonight. Sweep around the near side is not much available. Elise Cobb on that reverse for the Titans, and it gets bogged down to the backfield, and this time it was Trey Johnson getting in there for that stop.
Well, West Mifflin's trying to get creative right now. They're going into the playbook, deep into the playbook. They're trying reverses. They're trying sweeps. They're trying wildcats. And who can blame them? Nothing is working, but you keep on digging into that bag of tricks, and maybe you get a play here, you get a play here, and try to use that as motivation and start stacking them together.
3rd down and 19. Wildcat for Hill. And he'll go right up the middle, bounce off of one, and then help arrives, and the former of KK Coeba.
Did you see that, though? Even though he didn't gain any yards right there, Hill was able to bounce off of a tackler, keep his balance, keep his gravity low, and I don't know, he's limping right now. That's not a good sign. Looks like he's all right. Maybe it was just a little pimp step there.
Yeah.
But he's obviously frustrated as you watch him come to the sideline and snap his helmet off right there. Rightfully so. But that shows you that he doesn't give up.
Oh, sure. I mean, going up against this defensive front that you said it, Mike, licking their chops and knowing where the football is going. 4th down and long, 4th and 17. They had an issue with the punt and the snap. This time they get it off as Austin Riley gets it to Bruckner, and he has a trip up there at the 43-yard line. And let's have a JRM Sports game break check-in as we check in with the Upper St. Clair Panthers dominating the Hampton Talbots 42-3. And Bethel Park knows they're going to be matched up against these Upper St. Clair Panthers in just a few weeks' time on October 10th when Bethel Park goes to USC. Not a good night for blue and gold right now, Mike.
Listen, man, and they still got 5 minutes left to go in the half there. 45 points scored in the first half in that game. Looks like the way they're going, it might be a little more before halftime.
I tell you what, this conference in 5A, the Allegheny 6, Peters Township, Upper St. Clair, Bethel Park, Moon, South Fayette, all contenders in 5A as Dennison carrying defenders with them. Charging admission for a ride, David Dennison for a first down into the 39.
Did you see the little stutter step there before he gets going? Gives him the little stutter step, hits him with the 2-step, and then there were just people jumping on his back. And he's like, the train is open. Give me your ticket. You can get on. You can get on. You can get on. Just carrying defenders all the way down the field.
That's a hard Western Pennsylvania type run of 15 yards for David Dennison. Play action. Divine. Time, clean pocket. It breaks down and he'll run as he gets spun around. His helmet flies off as the defender got a fistful of the face mask on that, and the flags will fly.
I think that's Jarrell Armand. Got his hand on the helmet right there and ripped it off. Going to be the big one. The full 15-yard penalty. As he rips off Divine's helmet right there. I don't know if it was frustration or that was all he can grab onto right there, but he pulled the helmet completely off. That's the big penalty right there.
First down and 10. After that penalty that sets Bethel up at the 25-yard line. Divine, back to pass, over the middle one more time. Touchdown, Blackhawks. Jovian Smith reels it in from 25 yards away.
And as a defensive back right now, the hairs on the back of my neck are standing up. Every time you see a receiver run down the middle of the field that wide open, I'm getting... Matt, it's just making me icky up here. It's an icky feeling up here. Luckily, the smell from the hamburgers from the concession stand are keeping me motivated right now, or I might have to run down on the field. This is ridiculous.
Extra point, Xavier Jackson. For the point after touchdown, he puts that one through the poles and good. So a minute 59 to go here in this second quarter. 34-0. Drive summary real quick. 2 plays, 52 yards. A minute 55 seconds brought to you by our friends at Kelly Automotive.
Matt, I don't know if there was a breakdown in the secondary there or just lack of effort. Either way, it looks bad. It really looks bad for West Mifflin in the secondary right there when Divine is able to just pick apart who he wants to throw the ball to. Guys are open on every part of the field, in the middle of the field. He's just picking and choosing right now. Everybody's wide open. I don't know if the secondary is having miscommunication or it's just lack of effort.
Great aerial coverage there, provided to you tonight by GBU Life. Protect what matters now. Shell halftime show 2 minutes away. Stick around. Susie Cool, Colin Janov break it all down in the first half for us. Take a look at the scores from around the WPIAL, and here's a nice return as Mason gets loose. Jarrell Mason on the return for the Titans. Something to cheer about here on Homecoming night.
Well, that was a little spark before halftime. Maybe they can use that as a joke to try to put some kind of points on the board right now.
40 yards on the return.
Special teams coming into play here. West Mifflin will take whatever they can right there.
Mason sets up shop at the 45. Or West Mifflin sets up shop after the Mason return. And they go play action. Glover throws it over the middle in traffic. It's caught at the 35. And they've got a convoy at the 15. A stop and go move, a cutback move there by White. And White's finally bottled up inside the 10-yard line with flags flying.
And I think that was maybe a face mask at the end of the play there, so that might move them even closer to the goal line. We'll see what the call is after this, but a nice effort, nice play by West Mifflin there to try to get something rolling before halftime.
A tight, tinted window that Glover was able to find Taryn White on this one, and now the penalty is on West Mifflin somehow, some way. And we take another look at the UPMC Sports Medicine Instant Replay.
Sweet. See what the flag is here.
Maybe that last push, but
don't like that.
Everyone was jockeying for the football, and
don't like that play. Your receiver is still up on his feet. He's still trying to jockey for a little bit of yardage. I don't think you throw that flag right there.
Left tackle Ethan Thomas was all the way downfield too, providing some help there. That was a 48-yard gain for the Titans, best of the night. And they hand it off to Mason, and he gets bogged down. Everybody's in the backfield. Brady Bruckner started the party.
Yeah. I was kind of rooting for West Mifflin to punch that one in right there. You know, just to have a little something going into halftime to keep them motivated to come out in the second half and say, hey, no matter what the scoreboard says, we're going to continue to have effort. As time is running down here in this second quarter, hopefully they can get into the end zone or get some kind of points on the board.
Second down at 13 for West Mifflin. There you see Phil Peckage in his third season as the head coach. He's 16-11, 2 playoff appearances, looking for a third. Previously, the offensive coordinator for Bethel Park held that position for 3 years. One of the best in the WPIAL. He was quite impressive. Fab 22 selection at over 1,300 yards, 25 touchdowns his senior year.
Wow.
He also had 14 interceptions in his career. As that ball completed to the far side boundary for the Titans, and forward progress ruled stopped as Malik Cobb makes the reception. And we get a timeout here with 24 ticks to talk here in the second.
Not a lot of things going right for West Mifflin per se, but you have seen some big plays from them. They're still able to toss the ball around a little bit. They got a few big runs. They got a nice kickoff return on special teams. So there are some players who are still out there fighting for everything, and you like to see that with a young team. I think Coach Pugh has a lot to talk about at halftime with his players, but at least they're not laying down on the field. I was worried about that in the first quarter. I thought that when Bethel Park started putting up some points on them that they were just going to lay down. But they're showing a little bit of fight right here and still have 24 seconds left to try to punch something in the end zone.
And you could see how West Mifflin can compete in 4A classification. This is something that's, interesting, that the enrollment between Bethel Park, 488 guys, West Mifflin has 298.
Wow.
So
And 290, I think, is the minimum for the next class up.
They're
So
just barely a
Yeah.
4A school, really a borderline 3A school, playing up to Bethel Park here tonight. And that's what this 6th classification did. It fixed a lot of problems in the eastern side of the state, but it created a lot of problems in the western side of the state because there's so many more schools.
Right. I mean, when I was coming out, we were a 4A school, it was the Quad East, and we
That
had
was the
some-
highest class.
Yeah, that was the highest class. We had some powerhouses in there, but we were able to compete, even though our numbers were lower at McKeesport, kind of like they're here in West Mifflin. But West Mifflin, listen, you do what you can do. You go out here and play and say, hey, we competed against one of the best in 5A, and we took their punches.
Glover on 3rd down and 11. Gonna let it fly. Chuck it into the back of the end zone, but too far, overcooked and incomplete. It will be 4th down. Cobb, the intended receiver. And they're excited about Malik Cobb, just a sophomore, 6'2", has abilities, and he is down right now.
Yeah, they kind of went out of the back of the end zone back there into that different surface, and he tried to get up, but then he just popped back down on the ground. So hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, that quickly becomes an ice skating rink there once you get off the turf and onto the track surface that's designed for track and field. Another look at this. Over extends there.
And those are the scary ones, when your cleats get on that surface right there and just slides right from under you and your other knee stays there and then the other one buckles. Seems like he's okay, though. He's up and walking off the field under his own power.
Keep our eye on the field and step aside 30 seconds.
Giant Eagle has always been a staple.
They help me at the pharmacy.
I do use the pharmacy.
I get my prescription, my milk and bread, and be on my way, and it's like a one-stop shop.
I see the same faces every time I'm here.
It's local, and it's easily accessible.
I always run into my friends and family here.
I love being able to feed my children fresh local food.
I really like the produce here.
My favorite thing
is cookies.
This is my Giant Eagle.
Fourth down, and it is intercepted at the goal line for a touchback as Santino Noah-Zenik makes the INT and shuts the threat down of the Titans. Bethel Park's defense steps up.
Yeah, and Glover was just trying to make something happen right there. It's the end of the half. He just chucks it up in the air. And unfortunately, it gets intercepted. West Mifflin had some momentum going. Was hoping they could try to get some points off of that drive going into halftime, and now Bethel Park's in victory formation, just going to run the clock out.
Yep, Devine will knee it out here, and that will be the end of the first half. All Bethel Park here tonight. 34-0 advantage going into the locker room. And Susie Cool has Phil Peckage.
Thanks, Matt. Coach Peckage, Charlie Simmons already with 2 touchdowns on the night. Where is he finding the space offensively?
Yeah, I think we've done a pretty good job of formation them and early making them think a little bit. And Evan's done a good job of distributing the ball to the open guy and not forcing stuff in.
Holding the Titans scoreless as of right now going into the second half. Where do you need to continue to hone in defensively?
All 3 phases, we got to make sure we come out and execute cleanly the second half. We have too many pre-snap penalties as far as what we've done throughout the course of the game and penalties in general. 1 personal foul on the defensive side.
Thanks, Coach. Matt?
Susie, thank you, and thanks to Coach Peckage. To be expected there from Peckage. All business still. And as Bethel Park Blackhawks, all business tonight, 34-0 over West Mifflin. The Shell halftime show on the back half of this break. Susie Cool rejoins Colin Janov to break down this game and takes a look all across the WPIAL. Stick around, you're watching the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. And we're back on KDK Plus, you guessed it, right after this.
At Laway, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Loway apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Loway to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
This is a meal. We're talking a good food that makes you feel good meal. You feeling that? Now, meal this. A salad for the first time in a week meal. A catching up with your ex meal.
So, how's your mom?
Been there. Ooh, a scoring cool dad points meal.
Obviously.
Thank you. Do I spy an I need 5 minutes to myself meal? Whatever you're feeling, at Panera, it just meals good.
Relive your favorite moments at the Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Honor Museum.
They really wore that back then, Grandpa?
Yeah, they really did.
Playing back then was tough, believe me.
Now this is the best era. Nobody could beat that dynasty.
I couldn't agree more. Those teams were unstoppable.
Now, I don't know about that, but the team was really good in the 90s.
Come on, you couldn't catch those teams in the 2000s. They went the distance, literally.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
The 70s are definitely the
no
best.
Way. The 2000s, hands down.
Whoa, guys, stop fighting. I think every era was pretty sweet.
You said it, kid. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, and I hope to see you back here soon.
Wait, your tea?
Seems like a nice spot.
Welcome into the Shell Halftime Show on KDKA+ in lovely West Mifflin. Alongside Colin Johnoff, I'm Susie Cole in West Mifflin on homecoming weekend, holding hosts to the offensive powerhouse Bethel Park. And right now, Bethel Park up 34-0 over the Titans. Colin, what are you seeing so far?
I think it was some of what we talked about pregame, and Bethel Park is just too big. They're able to kind of overpower West Mifflin. West Mifflin has also been incredibly undisciplined, and that hasn't helped them. Some of our pregame concerns have come to light during the game.
And Bethel Park head coach Phil Peckich, despite the 34-0 lead that he currently has going into the second half of play, not really happy with his team right now. We'll get more into that later on. But while there's no shortage of offense here at West Mifflin tonight, we also love looking at what these kiddos do off the field. It's time to look at our Jerome Bettis Leadership Award. And our third one of the season goes out to Max Topper, a senior wide receiver for Greensburg-Salem. Max is an excellent leader for his team as well as his community, spending his spare time mentoring youth football players and volunteering at roadside cleanup projects, at events supporting the end to domestic violence, and working with local businesses to connect sports programs to their community. And while the senior is a captain on the Greensburg-Salem football team, he's also, Colin, I need a breath, the president of the National Honor Society and a member of the school's leadership council. Max, I think, needs a secretary after everything that I just named, but congratulations, Max, for being our Jerome Bettis Leadership Award winner for Week 3 action. If you have anybody in mind for that as well, go on over to Steelers.com/youth. And speaking of somebody that's done a lot in the Pittsburgh community, Bruce Gradkowski, a Seton LaSalle alum, an NFL alum as well. Check this out.
Drafted Western PA to the NFL, presented by UPMC. Number 51, Bruce Gradkowski.
Pittsburgh native Bruce Gradkowski is a true Yinzer. He grew up in Dormont and played high school football right down the street at Seton LaSalle, where he set WPIAL passing records previously held by Dan Marino. He continued his record-setting ways at the University of Toledo, where he became the first quarterback in NCAA history to complete more than 70% of his passes in consecutive seasons. In 2006, he was drafted in the 6th round by Tampa Bay, where he quickly became their starter in his rookie year. He played 2 seasons with the Bucs before becoming a well-traveled quarterback in the NFL, playing for 6 teams over a 10-year career, the highlight of which came on December 6, 2009.
He led the undermanned Oakland Raiders to a victory against his hometown Steelers at Heinz Field, throwing for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. He finished his playing career here in Pittsburgh as a backup for 3 seasons, and he's now an assistant coach with the Detroit Lions.
A house is just 4 walls, but a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots and real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back, year after year. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Pittsburgh, get ready to see PPG Pace Arena like never before. PPG Pace Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters told the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpacearena.com and book your tour today.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles. We build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
I'm Rocco, and I work here. I show Palmer's Monaca. Outside of work, I coach and train football at M7 Shell Sports Complex. We work with students on and off the field to develop their life skills, helping build my community.
And just like that, we're back on the Shell halftime show on KDKA. Plus, here in West Mifflin right now, Bethel Park is up 34-0 over the Titans. However, Colin, it's time to get to know one of these kids just a little bit better. A wide receiver for West Mifflin, Jose Perez. Let's check it out here.
What do your friends call you?
They call me Jose or JP.
Who do you look up to the most?
My parents.
What would be your ideal non-athletic career path?
Being a barber.
Who's the best Pittsburgh Steeler of all time?
Antonio Brown.
What's the best home-cooked meal you get and who makes it?
My mom makes great spaghetti.
What's on your bucket list before graduation?
Going to college.
What advice would you give to younger football players that look up to you?
Take everything serious and do it 100%.
You're on TV. What do you want to say to your parents?
Hey, Mom. Love you. This is Jose Perez from West Mifflin Area School District, and you're watching the Steelers High School Showcase on KDKA+.
Great. Thank you.
It's always good to get to know these kiddos a little bit more each and every week, but people that spend time with them each day at practice, the coaches. So we got to give credit where credit is due. It's now time to look at our Coach of the Week for Week 2 action. Congratulations to head coach Michael Bonjavingo from Neshannock. Bonjavingo led his Lancers to a 26-20 dub over Elwood City in Week 2 action, highlighted by a late-game touchdown pass with just 13 seconds left on the clock. The Lancers defense forced turnovers in the second half, while the offense battled back to seal Neshannock's second win of the season. Congrats to Coach Bonjavingo. And speaking of Week 2 action, you know what it's time for, Colin. Carlo Zofko is back, the WPIAL insider himself, giving us those top plays from Week 2.
Hey, it's halftime of the Steelers High School Football Showcase. That means it's time for the top 10 plays of the week on the WPIAL Insider Show, and I am your WPIAL Insider, Carlos Offco. This is all presented to us by our friends at Home Team Collections. Visit them online at hometeamcollections.com. Reminder, the player who has the number one play this week will get a beautiful custom frame picture from our friends at Home Team Collections. We can't wait to see who it is this week. I know last week a lot of games were either blowouts or coming right down to the wire at the last second. Not a lot of in-between games. I'll tell you what there was a lot of, though. Top plays of the week. Enough of me talking. Let's get into the action.
Starting us off at number 10, we're going to go to Frazier's Bradley Seacrest. And Bradley going to roll out right, call his own number, tuck it himself, break about 3 tackles, breaking tackles, breaking ankles, and Bradley's going to go in for the score. Coming in at number 9, in an amazing game last week, Avonworth beats Aliquippa, mainly because sophomore Jaden Jones started off the game with a bang. What an interception there by the super sophomore. At number 8, Hampton would get the best of Shaler last week, and it had maybe something to do with Heath Borgo going up, tiptoeing in bounds, and getting into the end zone. At number 7, we're going to go to the Gateway game. The Gators didn't come away with the victory, but Jackson Smith had this unbelievable play, going to bully his way into the end zone. More from this game later. At number 6, we're going to go to the Cornell game in Cornell with a big get-right game last week, mainly due to this, Khalil Johnson laying the boomstick on a poor defender en route to the end zone. Maybe the meanest play I've seen. At number 5, we're going to go to Bethel Park a second time on the list for receiver Will Sabatos, who's going to catch Evan Devine's ball and going to bully his way into the end zone. Sabatos goes along with the top play. Bethel Park gets the win. At number 3, we're going to go to the Cannon Mac South Fayette game, a massive game, and Ty Jansma is going to find Ethan Campoli in the end zone there. Cannon Mac would go on to win. At number 3, Pine Richland's Khalil Taylor, come for the head top touchdown, stay for the backflip. Look at this thing, the cartwheel into the backflip. That's a 10 out of 10. At number 2, back to the Gateway game, it's going to be receiver Sean Moorfield Jr. He's going to take the screen, break about 5 tackles, break some ankles, and he's not going to be caught. The Gators had 2 top plays, but don't come away with the victory. And at number 1, the Home Team Collections Play of the Week, it's going to be Jeanette Jr., wide receiver Jace Powell. Jace is going to one-hand this thing. My goodness, then make a couple defenders miss. He probably ran a total of 130 yards here for this 80-yard touchdown. Jace, what a play.
And that'll do it for the WPIAL Insider Top 10 Plays of the Week. Congrats to Jace Powell from Jeanette. Bringing it home, well-deserved, well-earned, an unbelievable one-handed grab, and then taking it all the way into the end zone. He will be receiving a beautiful custom picture of that moment so that he can remember it forever from our friends at Home Team Collections. Any memorabilia, visit them online, hometeamcollections.com. This has been the host, WPIAL Insider, Carlos Offco at the WPIAL Insider Show. We're coming back right to you at the Steelers High School Football Showcase Game of the Week.
In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there's something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first.
And we're not stopping anytime soon. Our commitment to excellent sales and service remains stronger than ever.
Visit us today and experience the Mike Kelly Automotive difference. Because when you buy from us, you buy from family.
Why do I love having a healthcare concierge?
It's the speaking to a real live person.
It's the figuring things out, so I don't have to.
Es la voz que me da.
It's the making sure I get my prescriptions on time.
It's the call, just to see how my son was doing after his accident.
When you have a healthcare concierge team, you have partners. Partners in care.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
I'm Rocco, and I work here at Shell Polymers Monaca. Outside of work, I coach and train football at M7 Shell Sports Complex. We work with students on and off the field to develop their life skills, helping build my community.
We are just minutes away from the second half kicking off here at Titan Stadium in West Mifflin. Bethel Park up 34-0 over the Titans. Homecoming court was just announced. The Queen was announced, the King announced, Colin. But whenever we look at this gameplay tonight, let's take a look at those Giant Eagle highlights and first half stats as well. Now, like I said, Blackhawks, they're up 34-0 over West Mifflin. You would think that head coach Phil Peckage would be happy with the way his team is playing. However, he's not exactly happy with the discipline that they're not portraying tonight, which is very uncharacteristic.
Yeah, I think that's the good thing, or the thing about good coaches, is they find ways to keep their team disciplined, right? They have 40 penalty yards, some uncharacteristic penalties. So I can 100% understand why the coach was honing in on that aspect, because when you play teams that are of equal talent to you, those are what kills you, and that's what separates the good from the great teams. So I love that he's not looking at just outcomes. He's looking at the process to get them to better outcomes.
Now let's take a look at those Giant Eagle first half highlights. I mean, there's no shortage of offense here for Bethel Park.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing that we're going to see, is this is going to be like a highlight show for Bethel Park. They did some things really well in that first half. They actually had some really good passing plays, but, you know, we're leading with the run game there. They're a physical run team. They're able to push really West Mifflin around and do whatever they wanted, right? So you're able to see some of these scores that came after big plays. And defensively, I mean, they just beat up on West Mifflin. Negative 23 rushing yards we saw. That is really, really tough. That's actually one of my favorite plays of the first half, that little tight end pop pass. Those get me really excited because they're a thread-the-needle type play. So seeing Bethel Park execute that on offense was pretty cool.
If Bethel Park could clean up one thing right now, what should it be going into the second half play?
If I'm Bethel Park, right, I'm treating the game as 0-0, okay? And I'm telling my team, we are going to avoid penalties, right? I don't care if it's holding penalties. I don't care if it's post-snap penalties. I don't care if it's pre-snap penalties. We're looking to play a clean game, finish the game hard, and play as if it's 0-0 and really put a stamp on it.
West Mifflin not playing as disciplined as head coach BJ Pugh would like them to. How can they get things rolling offensively here?
Yeah, I think you got to lean on your playmaker, right? You got to get Hill the ball in space a lot. Honestly, late in that half, they actually had him protecting a lot. I would like to see him get out, maybe hit a little dump pass here or there, hit a little screen pass. I know they tried those a few times, but really just get him out in space, get him the opportunity to break some things open.
Now let's go to Upper St. Clair for their game. Upper St. Clair up 48-3 in just the third quarter. You see 20 seconds left.
Hey, this is one of my contender teams, right? And they are just, again, just putting a beat down on Hampton. I mean, you get a long run play there. You know, they're just a really solid team, really fundamentally well coached. It looks like they're in safe, and it looks, actually, that's a lie. That's the only points for Hampton of the half. There's a field goal.
Yeah, and whenever you look at Upper St. Clair, why did you choose them as one of your contenders this season?
You know, I think last year what we saw is they had a run game. They didn't have a tremendous pass game. What we're seeing this year is the development of that pass game and the, you know, development of the quarterback. Quarterbacks develop at different rates, and we're really seeing theirs come into his own, make some fantastic plays. What a catch right there by the receiver. but it's just a different type of offense that we're seeing to go along with their run game.
Let's check out some of those other scores across the WPIAL tonight. I'm curious about a couple here, Colin. Wait until they pop up. Mars up 6-0 over Aliquippa. Norwin up 35-6 over Seneca Valley. Hempfield down 6-14 to North Allegheny. Penn Trafford down 14-28 under Woodland Hills. Elizabeth Forward 9-20 under South Bayette. But also look at that Thomas Jefferson score. Avonworth up 27-14.
Hey,
oh my!
We got a whole half to play in some of these games, but you are looking good, Susie. I'm looking kind of dumb with some of my picks there.
No, you're not.
I will say I hope that the Pitt West Virginia game looks different since I compared it to Aliquippa Mars.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what all these scores are at the end of the night, but we're going to see if the score keeps getting rung up here at Titan Stadium. Bethel Park up 34-0 over West Mifflin. We'll be back with second half action after this.
Did you know you can make your home or building look brand new? For the whole project, or just spot repointing, make your home exterior brand new like when it was built. Call or visit Mariani-Richards.com.
This is a meal. We're talking a good food that makes you feel good meal. You feeling that? Now, meal this. A salad for the first time in a week meal. A catching up with your ex meal.
So, how's your mom?
Been there. Ooh, a scoring cool dad points meal.
Obviously.
Thank you. Do I spy an I need 5 minutes to myself meal? Whatever you're feeling, at Panera, it just meals good.
And welcome back here on the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, back inside the broadcast booth. Joined alongside the Super Bowl champ Mike Logan, Matt Fargo with you as the Bethel Park Blackhawks lead West Mifflin here at the break. And Mike, you know, we kind of knew what was possible with this. You know, teams trending in different directions. West Mifflin certainly building, and they have the ability to do that. And on the other side, for Bethel Park, they have expectations of getting and contending for a championship in 5A. And this second half, for both sides, getting to see what maybe some of the younger guys can do.
Yeah, you just want to see execution. I think West Mifflin knows that they're outmatched and outmanned out here, but you want to see effort and you want to see execution. We didn't see that. We've seen spots of it in the first half. We're going to see more consistency. I'm sure Coach does.
Be interesting to see what young guys step up. And, you know, that first time Friday Night Light experience for some of these young guys, Phil Peckett said, he felt like some of the young guys this year that have stepped up, that got experience last year in these types of games, it's really a big-time moment and something that they remember forever.
Yeah, but it's a little time for the second half for the deer in the headlights to be over. You want to see those guys really develop and see if they can play, and hopefully they prove it in the second half.
You still like the guys flying around on special teams. We'll see a lot of that here in this second half, as the Bethel Park offense see another return. Nice hit on Dennison.
There we go.
Who got a great return out of it all the way up to the 41-yard line, but laying some lumber there.
Yeah, number 59, Jalen Hawkins Stewart right there with a big blow on the special teams. So at least they're starting off the second half with some enthusiasm, with a big pop there on special teams. Shows that them young guys are ready for the primetime action.
Evan Devine back to work, and Dennison, the tailback, getting the call to the 44-yard line, where he's upended there. And, you know, for Bethel Park, they've been firing on all cylinders, and a lot of it has been the guy you see there in David Dennison.
With the tempo offense going right now, they're just going to run it down your throat, man. I love this, though. I love seeing, the 3 yards in the cloud of dust thing, like the old Jerome Bettis days when we played. They're just going to hand it off to the running back, let them get 3 or 4 yards on first down, and then just try to move the chains from there.
Dennison play action is Devine chased, backpedaling, and got that one away. There was a receiver in the vicinity and Brady Bruckner, so just incomplete. Third down coming up here for the Hawks.
That was a heck of a fake right there. I thought that he handed the ball off to to Dennison right there. Devine held the ball and tried to roll out to the side, but just didn't have enough time to find anybody open right there. Had to throw it away.
Dennison coming in, 11 carries, 96 yards.
Nice first half.
As Devine swings it out to him out into the flat of first
the
down and
speed.
more. There goes Dennison down the far boundary, and nobody will catch him. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bethel Park.
Not what you wanted to see from the West Mifflin defense, giving up a big play right there. And this time it wasn't Dennison getting the handoff, but catching the flare out the backfield and taking it up the sideline, showing that he has a little bit of speed to go with that power.
He goes 56 yards for the Hawks touchdown.
The big fella moving right there.
Dennison getting his third receiving touchdown of the season, his 8th overall. And Xavier Jackson to put it between the poles. It all works. 10:59, only a minute and a second into this third quarter. And Bethel Park has invoked the mercy rule, 41-0 here on KDK Plus.
Turkey's in season at Eaton Park. Whether you're craving it hot, stacked, Pittsburgh style, or served up with all the fixings, we've got you covered. Starting at just $10.99. Add a slice of pumpkin pie to any of these favorites for only $1.99. Only at Eaton Park.
At Loewe, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Loewe apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Loewe to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
You know, when Gary's call came in, just by the sound of the call, you knew that this was a bad injury.
When I saw Gary in the hospital room, they were afraid that his injuries were so severe that the lower leg wouldn't be salvageable. It was 50-50 as to whether Gary was going to keep the lower limb.
My name's Gary. When I needed help the most, Edgar Snyder was there for me. I wouldn't have wanted no one else. I'm glad they were my team, straight up.
At Hello Bistro, we keep it fresh. Fresh flavors, fresh choices, endless ways to build what you're craving. Because food should be as bold as you are. You deserve fresh. Only at Hello Bistro.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Shell, Panera Bread, Loewe Enterprises, promotional products and apparel. Great job and performances by the Bethel Park and West Mifflin bands here at halftime. There's the Titan handing out some free merch to Titan fans here on homecoming night. Steelers High School Showcase presented by Giant Eagle with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
Some of the fans have departed, but they're all running down there to still get some Titans merch.
No doubt. Xavier Jackson to put a boot into it. Another touchback. Man, I like the leg on this young man. Another look at the Kelly Automotive Drive recap 3 plays, 59 yards, and another drive that goes under a minute.
I mean, you know, quick strike scores right here. It's exciting for the crowd, but up in this booth, we're at least trying to give you some insight on what the offense is doing and what the defense is doing, but we don't even have time to get to it. They're scoring that quick.
Yeah, I mean, defensive coordinator, he's a McKeesport guy. TJ Neal played at Illinois and Auburn.
Okay.
He's had his work cut out for him against this Bethel Park offense.
He definitely has. Definitely has. Just want to see the guys continue to put in effort, even if it's young guys.
They go with the jet sweep. And a nice carry here for Mason as he got his legs churning, picks up a West Mifflin first down.
And you know, we've called his name several times out here. Mason is showing that he still has some effort in him. No give up. Hard-nosed run right here. Bounces off a couple tacklers, spinning and picking up positive yards.
First down and 10. Let's go down to Susie, check in with her.
Thanks, Matt. After the first half of play, West Mifflin head coach BJ Pugh said that his team needs to execute. There's always a breakdown somewhere. Here or there tonight, they got to play as one. Now, Pugh did say that he liked a lot of the things his Titans are doing tonight, but those breakdowns can't happen, and discipline needs to be on par. Matt?
As Glover shuffles and is able to escape danger there, that's a positive in the Titan belt there as he scrambles for positive yardage after everything broke down to the pocket.
And you've seen that repeatedly in this game. They're getting a lot of yards, maybe more yards than they had on execution plays. When the plays break down, he's been able to scramble outside and pick up positive yards. And that time he's just showing you his athletic ability, picking up about 6 or 7 yards there.
Second down and 3. All to 41. For Zawan Glover, a sophomore quarterback. A lot of young guys getting opportunities as Hill breaks 2 tackles, tries to break a third there. Armand Hill, and he picks up another West Mifflin Titan first down.
I think the ball came loose there, but he was already down. The official had blown the whistle. But positive yards, you know, you want to stack them up. When you got nothing to play for, it's not like, you know, these guys are going to come back right now, but they're still showing hard-nosed effort, still running hard, still trying to pick up the extra yards when they can.
Aerial coverage there provided to you by GBU Life. As Glover will send out the screen pass, hold in. Malik Cobb on the reception, and forward progress stopped. Cobb comes up limping. Good to see him out there after he went down in the end zone late in the first half. Saw him ice skating out there past the turf.
Yeah, and I think he just got stepped on there. Either way, they're going to bring him off the field for at least the play right here, is get him checked out and make sure that he's okay. Hopefully it's just a little cramp or somebody stepped on him, he can get back in there. He's been productive when he was on the field.
Second down and 9. Jet motion one more time. It's Mason going into a pile of white and black jerseys in on that stop.
And Matt, we talked about, you know, Bethel Park's defense returning 7 starters on defense and not giving up that many points. But the one thing I'm seeing on them, if you want to be very, very critical and analytical, is they're not getting runners and receivers down to the ground to spend a lot of stand-up, you know, shoulder popping right here. You want to see those guys really wrap the arms and get those guys on the ground because, you know, this weather is going to change soon and guys are going to be running hard-nosed up the middle. We want to see them be able to get the ball carried to the ground.
Third down, 12. Play action, swing it out to Mason. Mason avoids one and lowers his shoulder. Mason lost control of the ball, but they'll roll him down and out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. And this young man, just a sophomore, and he packs a punch as well.
Definitely packs a punch. And again, you're seeing him carrying defenders, not really going down after the first contact or the second contact. Again, if I'm being very, very critical of Bethel Park's defense, you want to use your arms and arm tackle and get those guys to the ground. Make sure that you don't let them get that hit after contact.
And a timeout. Take it here on 4th down. And we'll step aside and pay some bills. Or not. No, I'm being told we're staying here. We're staying here because we have to remind you to follow us on social media.
There we go. M. Logan 3-1.
Yeah, follow JRM Sports and the Steelers Youth Football accounts on X, Instagram, YouTube for all the exclusive content, real-time highlights, and on-demand broadcasts. Follow us, Steelers Youth Football and at JRM Sports. All the great content the Steelers Youth Football team, Mike Marchinski and his staff, all season long, from youth camps and clinics to the Steelers Showcase to girls flag football. It's really unbelievable where all the Steelers are.
Listen, man, shout out to Chen and our marketing team. They always are awesome in making sure that they make those camps fun and guys are available. We get excited about attending them. We're excited about the opportunity to teach young kids. And, you know, I don't know how Chen does it, man. I told that dude he has more than 24 hours in a day because his clock is always running. Shout out to his wife and family for allowing us to share in him, man, because he's always on the go, man.
Always on the go. And the little-known fact that is becoming pretty well-known now, but I always love to say it, he's the guy responsible for Renegade.
I'm the guy responsible for Renegade, if you really want to be true.
Oh, this is a news story.
Listen. Chen put it out there. The first time they played Renegade twice and used it as a momentum break was my interception in the 2002 Cleveland playoff game when we mounted the comeback. So Chen gave me that credit. Now I'm running with it. I'm running away with it. I had the birth play to Renegade. So shout out to me. I want to thank me for being me.
I love it. No one better. Rolling out is Glover. Being chased from behind. Glover throws on the run, and it's incomplete. A flag might have been down there. No, it was a helmet. It wasn't a flag, it was a helmet. All right, now we're going to pay some bills. 41-0. Bethel Park leads West Mifflin. It's a Friday night in the Steel City on the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week.
My favorite thing to buy at Giant Eagle is sourdough bread.
This is hard because I have really good things to say. I love the fresh produce. I love the fresh meat.
I'm pretty sure the fish guy knows me by now. We're buds.
I love to grill. That alone keeps me coming back.
We love the fact that we have the My Perks program.
The people that work here are so nice and so helpful.
They are always very friendly, especially Pam.
Everybody loves the cakes from Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Welcome to La Roche University, where experience isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of life.
At La Roche, our students thrive by putting their ideas into action.
So we came in today just kind of getting a general idea of valuing a model and how it is done in actual real-life time.
I think what they're doing in La Roche with the applied learning has a lot of value for the students. They're able to see the real-world numbers come to life, and that has a lot of impact for them.
La Roche University, engaging minds, embracing the world.
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. with a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by UPMC Sports Medicine, Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, Octane Customs, your brand on the move. Nice aerial shot there of West Mifflin, and there's the student section of Bethel Park feeling a beach vibe here tonight.
It's hot enough for it, I tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, we went right back to summer mode here tonight after what felt like a fall Friday a week ago. Divine dialing it up deep, and it is incomplete. Right in the hip pocket, Jose Perez on coverage of Santino Nowenzenik.
And I think Jose got a nice jump on that one. He got beat earlier in the first half, and he said they're going to come back to it, and he was ready for it that time. I don't know if he's just a little gassed right there or he's just trotting back to the – oh, they called pass interference. Oh, man, that looked like good coverage to me. Maybe there was something jockey in there, but I didn't see it.
I'm with you, Mike. Yes, it was pass interference they called, so 15 yards, and they get good field position out of it now in West Mifflin territory at the 40. There's the Bethel Park cheerleaders also participating in the beach theme. Aloha. Screen pass completed to Bruckner. Bruckner shakes free, and Bruckner has a Bethel Park first down.
And
inside the 30, and you got it, Mike. Another yellow hanky down.
This time it looks like it's on Bethel Park. They're walking back. You know, in a game like this, everything has to go perfect for you if you're the underdog and you're West Mifflin. Sure. And it really hasn't today. There's been penalties, there's been miscues, there's been lack of execution, there's been missed tackles, there's been miscommunication, misreads. And it's reflecting in the scoreboard as Bethel Park is up by 41 points here in the third quarter, winding down with under 3 minutes to go.
First and 20, and
another 5 yards.
Flag makes it first and 25.
You think it's about time to start putting in the guys on the sideline to get them some exposure and get some game experience?
Yeah, I mean, especially in a running clock, you don't get a lot of plays out of it.
Right.
With the moving clock, they flipped the formation here. Divine going from under center. They go with the reverse, and a good chunk of the yards picked up by Will Sabatis. Some of that lost penalty yardage as we tick closer to 2 minutes to go here in the third.
Yeah, if I'm West Mifflin, if I'm Bethel Park, I'm thinking about getting some of my youth on the field right now, getting them some real-time reps to see what they're made of. If you're Bethel Park, you don't want to get anyone hurt. West Mifflin, you don't want to get anyone hurt. You're talking about going into conference play. You want all your guys to be healthy.
Divine shaking free, was able to avoid, and now still finds a way forward and gets knocked out on the near boundary, but great hustle play there.
Making something out of nothing right there.
You know, Phil Peckage said that he believes that Evan Divine would have been the starting quarterback in any one of the team's conference foes, with the exception of Logan DeLucia, who we saw for Peters Township a few weeks ago, but it just so happened he was behind the 13th all-time leading passer in WPIAL history.
But he's showing you what he got right now. He's proving to everyone that he deserves to be here. He is their leader. You see him out here extending plays and making things happen. whether it's his arms or his legs.
This is another ball that gets picked off. Intercepted. It's Perez. Jose down the far sideline. And he's inside the 30, and the ball came loose. And, well, they roll Bethel football.
Nothing is going right for West Mifflin. Even when they make a big play, somehow the luck turns over on them, and they get the ball turned over.
Gavin Ballou. No, it will stay West Mifflin's ball. The officials correct it. We'll see it on the replay. The ball did not go out of bounds. The player was out of bounds. Who was that? Number 70. Ballou. Gavin
Ballou.
Ballou.
I think his feet was out of bounds when he jumped on the ball. So it's bounce back. I think his feet was out of bounds.
46-yard interception return for Jose Perez.
Hey, Jose's still out here trying to make some things happen. Just as we were talking about Divine, the quarterback, Jose Perez comes up with a big interception and returns it 46 yards.
And that's probably the one thing that Divine needs to work on. That's his 5th pick of his season. But Bethel Park commanding lead in this one, 41-0 as we go to the 4th. Steelers High School Showcase comes back to West Mifflin on KDK+.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
You might not see the people's pipelines that deliver you safe, reliable natural gas every day because they are out of sight, hiding beneath your feet. But what's out of your sight is not out of our minds. We move through busy city streets to upgrade the infrastructure that served our region for decades, using state-of-the-art materials that reduce emissions to power homes and businesses with essential energy for generations to come. That's people's commitment to making your life better.
Hi, this is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Mazda. It's time for the Mazda More to Move You summer event. We have a great selection of new 2025 Mazda CX-50s. These are assembled in the United States. We have 1.9% financing on those up to 60 months. Save money and drive one home today. All of our current inventory is unaffected by tariffs.
The honest dealer, believably different, Bud Bear.
Thanks for fixing the door.
I was nervous about that lock.
To your family, you are more than just your income.
What would she do without me? She'd probably have to marry our next door neighbor, Todd.
Well, Todd, I have no feelings for you whatsoever, but I'm going to have to say I do. I can't afford a handyman.
Gotta get some life insurance.
Although you're irreplaceable, a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide the financial security your family needs for a secure future. To get started, visit gbu.org.
The build. What is it that drives us to follow our dreams, to build them from scratch, from the heart? For us, it's the same ideals of hard work, craftsmanship, and unity that define our great nation. It begins with trusting in yourself and having a team behind you that believes any dream is possible, and that every project is a vision of what can be, of who you are, and the future that you continue to build. From our family to yours, 84 Lumber, where quality and pride come together, one dream at a time.
Let's play a 4th from West Mifflin tonight, as Bethel Park has the advantage over the Titans, 41-0. Back with Mike Logan, Matt Fargo with you, and there's a run by Hill, and let's go down to Susie Cool, who's got herself into something down there. What are you doing there, Suze?
Matt, it's homecoming weekend here at West Mifflin, and they're doing it right. Now, I will say some of the food trucks have left, but out here in this area, Athletic Director Lance Maha told me they have food trucks out here all the time by the West Mifflin home stands. There's Annie Ann's, there was Italian Ice earlier, Dippin' Dots, burgers, hot dogs, you name it, a huge West Mifflin gear tent as well. I would say I'm taking orders, but unless you want a pretzel, I can't really do anything else for you right now. But I mean, what a cool experience, because I didn't have that in high school. What about you guys?
I'll take a pretzel, Suze. Come on up.
I'll take anything at this point right now. You know,
Mike's hungry.
I smelled them burgers in here earlier. I got a whiff of them, but since they're gone, I'll just have to go with the pretzel.
Saw some haluski down there.
All right, listen.
You know, they're doing it right here.
That's good eating right there. I seen the trucks out there when I was coming in. That's why it took me so long to get up to the booth. I was walking up here with a bag of food. Matt's looking at me like, what's going on? I said, hey, I got to eat, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know who's eating tonight, Mike, is the Bethel Park defense.
Yeah.
Pitching a shutout right now. West Mifflin trying to convert this 3rd down and 5. It's one Glover handed off to Hill. And Hill picks up a 1st down. Fresh set of downs. Defensive coordinator Marty Rick, he's the former South Park head coach, and he left the head coaching position at South Park prior to last season. And if you'll recall, South Park went on to win the WPIAL championship, and Rick had some issues with scheduling. He was being a diabetic and wasn't able to make the teaching and coaching situation work, so he steps away, and Phil Peckett's called him the most humble guy he's ever met.
Wow. Well, I met a humble guy as well that I played with. He was number 43. His name was Troy Polamalu, and a defensive player he was. When you just talked about humility, it made me think about Troy right there. But that's interesting that, he couldn't get the schedule to coordinate right there. And then
he said he knew that they were going to win a championship.
Wow.
Too, so
that
says it all.
Here he is with Bethel Park, and they're glad to have him, I'm sure.
He's now operating this Bethel Park defense. As Glover gets tossed down, it will be after a penalty. Now a 1st down and 5 in the Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union red zone.
And West Mifflin really needs to get something in here, get some points out of this. They've been down in the red zone a couple of times and haven't come away with any points.
It's a 1st and 10 officially. Play action. And Glover on the money to Jose Perez. Touchdown, Titans.
And anything on the scoreboard is a little morale boost from seeing that goose egg up on the scoreboard. So I'm sure that Coach Pugh is happy about that, seeing his offense being able to drive down the field after a turnover and turn it into points.
And how about the dive there? You see it on the pylon cam to Jose Perez. Youngsters here at West Mifflin love to see it. And now the extra point from Landon Jeffrey. He is a soccer player turned football player, and BJ Pugh appreciates it. And the West Mifflin Titans are on the board here in the 4th on the showcase. We'll be back.
UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons.
Primary care sports medicine physicians.
Board-certified physical therapists.
A comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion.
Nutrition.
Athletic training.
Sports performance.
Everything is right here that you need. So we deliver that right to you.
This Friday, the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, features Penn Hills as the Indians take on the Aliquippa Quips. Friday night at 7 on KDKA+.
College isn't for everyone, but from pay to training to retirement, Pennsylvania Laborers Union members live better. PA Laborers Union offers a great wage potential of $42 per hour and terrific health benefits. Imagine having 0 student loans while receiving state-of-the-art construction training. Join the team and get mentorship and guidance from experienced members. Go now to laborparecruit.com for more information.
You've got dreams, might even be something big. Imagine what you could do with the right solutions. Secured against evolving threats and set up to make the right decisions faster. At Acrisure, we help protect and grow everything you've worked so hard to build. We are the brightest people using the best of technology. We are an extraordinary advantage for you. We are Acrisure.
This Saturday, tune in to KDKA Plus for PAC D3 college football as the Grove City Wolverines host the Mount Union Purple Raiders this Saturday at 1, only on KDKA Plus.
Kelly Automotive Drive Summary. It's a quick one for the Titans. Fourth place, 29 yards, 3:37 off the fourth quarter clock. Titans on the board thanks to that man, Jose Perez. Titans fans are saying, hip, hip, Jose.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I don't care what they say. Go, Jose. I'm all for it, man.
Thanks, Mike. From the 12, on the return is Troy Glez. And a nice stick there for the Titans. Nigel Wilson. Nice special teams tackle there.
Are we going to see some substitutes in the game here for Bethel Park's high-powered offense?
It's a great question, Mike. What will Phil Peckage decide to do here?
They're huddled on the sideline, and now they break out to the ball. Can't see the numbers from the...
Yes, here it is. Here is Max Novak, the grandson of the great George Novak, in at quarterback. He one-hands it beautifully to get the ball to the tailback. New tailback in the game as well, getting that carry. And we get to see Max Novak, Phil Peckage, very high on Max. Of course, good family lineage there with Pat.
Know that name very, very, very well. The Novak name, Coach George Novak, who was at Woodland Hills when I was playing back in those Quad East days. Coach Novak was a fan of mine, even though I was at McKeesport playing against him as one of their rivals. I had a college recruiter come and tell me, hey, there's a guy over there in Woodland Hills that can't stop talking about you every time we go see him to visit, and it was Coach Novak giving me props.
And Novak going to keep here after a busted play. He'll get to the outside and pick up a yard. George, 306 wins, 139 losses, 3 ties, one of 3 coaches in WPIAL history to win over 300 or more games, and is only one of 7 coaches all-time to win 6 WPIAL football titles.
Wow.
And now Max, who spent some time at Southern Columbia, Pennsylvania Power, and then moved back into, is originally from the Bethel Park area, moved back into the Bethel Park district, and now it is Max Novak getting an opportunity here, as he will just be sophomore graduate of 2028. And that one, a tip drill and a completed pass. How about it? Lucas Skirbitz on the reception and a BP first down.
Listen, I was just getting ready to talk about how smooth he looked rolling out of the pocket, had a nice throw, and it was dropped. It wasn't dropped, it was tipped in the air, and football guards placed it right into Lucas Skirbitz's hands, and he comes up with the first down, keeps the drive going.
And with, Divine graduating this year after this season, is Max Novak the next one up for the Bethel Park Blackhawks, and we'll get to say kind of like 2 years ago when we saw Armand Hill come onto the scene as a freshman. Or we're going to be talking about this game in a couple of years.
Listen, if this offense is any, tribute to the last 2 couple of plays, he's looked good in there. He looks comfortable. He looks like he's ready to handle some things. So I'm glad that they're able to get him some reps right now at real-time speed, real game speed.
And, of course, George Novak's coaching tree, it's arguably the best in the WPIAL. I mean, you have guys like Bill Cherpak that played. Obviously, we're talking about the connections on the West Mifflin side of things. There's just an impressive tree that stems, and not only coaches, but he had some pretty good players over the years, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely has some great players come through that program. At one point, I think they had the most NFL players come through their program.
Yes.
And there's some big names that have come through that Woodland Hills program.
Of course, Woodland Hills participated in the Hall of Fame Classic with Pittsburgh Central Catholic last week. Sweep right side. This time goes to Antonio Williams, and Williams gets knocked into the boundary with the flag down.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think they just lost track of where they were and pushed them up underneath West Mifflin's bench over there. Flags came out immediately. So that's going to move them 15 yards closer to the end zone. Let's look at it here on the replay. We'll see where the contact is made. Contact is made out of bounds, but pushes them down far into that bench, and the penalty flag came out immediately.
Checking the flag here.
Yeah. I think they got the ball set up at the 30-yard line. Well, they're going to try to punch it in with a little over 2 minutes here on the clock remaining in this game.
Pitch left. Williams one more time. Be playing tomorrow morning on the JV side of things and getting a couple touches here under the Friday night lights.
Love it. Love to see it. Love to see the young pups getting a little prime time action. Seeing how it is on Friday nights instead of playing on a Saturday morning, the JV guys, you love to see it.
And you could tell Bethel Park has a stable. Phil Peckage talked about the best programs are the ones that have a bunch, graduate, and they still contend. It's that Mike Tomlinism, the next man up mentality.
And you got to be ready to go. You know, you can have a lot of numbers, you can have a lot of kids on the team, but they have to be ready to go. This shows you that these kids pay attention in practice. They're aware of what's going on, and they're focused on getting the job done. So it was nice to see them in there to get a couple plays.
Max Novak takes a knee. And they called delay a game there prior to that.
Well, the clock's still running anyway, so.
It doesn't stop even for the penalty. And
Coach
that's the
said
way Bethel going to run the rest of this clock out and get out of here with a victory. 3-1 on now almost the midway point of the season. Hard to believe.
Wow.
We're almost here. Bethel Park victorious tonight. Your final, it will be 41-7. And the Bethel Park Blackhawks come into Titan Stadium and spoil homecoming to improve to 3-1. West Mifflin falls to 1-3.
Wow. Four weeks in already.
We will come back with our postgame, including a talk with our Massaro Construction player of the game and scores from around the WPIAL. Stick around. Our postgame show you've been watching, the Steelers High School Showcase, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Bethel Park wins it 41-7. Postgame coming up next on KDKA Plus.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations, and a sponsor of this WPIAL high school football broadcast.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
This Friday, the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, features Penn Hills as the Indians take on the Aliquippa Quips. Friday night at 7 on KDKA+.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! A deep ball here that's caught and going all the way to the end zone.
This Saturday, tune in to KDKA Plus for PAC D3 college football as the Grove City Wolverines host the Mount Union Purple Raiders this Saturday at 1, only on KDKA Plus.
Bethel Park wins the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week in this Week 3, 41-7 over the West Mifflin Titans tonight. Blackhawks take down West Mifflin on homecoming night. And welcome inside the broadcast booth one more time, everybody. Mike Logan, Matt Fargo, thanks so much for joining us. A abbreviated second half, but executed perfection for Bethel Park. And games like this, they can often end up being trap games. We've seen it time and time again. I'm not going to talk about WVU in Ohio last week.
No. We're not going to talk about that at all.
But it is possible.
It is.
And it's still good to see for Phil Peckage that they were able to do what they needed to tonight.
Well, we knew what the expectations was, and I think both of the coaches knew what the expectations were. Going down on the field, talking to Coach Pugh at that, he was realistic about in his expectations for this team. But he did say he wanted to see his players, even if they lose, they were going to learn something. And they weren't really effective in learning stuff and keeping the execution up.
All right, we'll go downstairs and see Susie Cole, who has our Macero Construction Player of the Game.
Thanks, Matt. Our Macero Construction Player of the Game, David Dennison. This is yours. David, 12 rushes for 96 yards, 1 catch for 56 yards, and a touchdown tonight. Where were you feeling the best offensively?
Definitely the run game. The O-line played hell of a game, and it was a good win, good team win.
This team continually putting up huge offensive numbers against every opponent. Where do they keep proving themselves each and every week?
Definitely like our mental game, like towards the end of the game, like how to finish. And our coaches are really doing really good. They're drilling in our heads to finish our game and don't get complacent.
Thank you so much, David. Again, congratulations on the game ball. Go join your team.
Thank you.
Susie, thank you, and congratulations to David Dennison. He's just one of those guys, 3.5 GPA. I'm telling you, whoever ends up getting this guy, they're going to really appreciate what he can do, whether it's offensively or defensively.
Right. He showed flashes on both sides of the ball out there today. He's a hard-nosed player who I would feel comfortable giving them the ball on any play on the field and in the classroom. You talked about a 3.5 GPA. Yep. Any subject he can probably do with his eyes closed.
Yeah, and obviously giving up the offensive line, giving them kudos. You always like to see the running backs doing that. Let's take a look at the road ahead for both of these teams as they will move on. For the Bethel Park Blackhawks, they'll go on the road. Road Warriors here last couple weeks after starting the season in the friendly confines of Bethel Park. At Trinity, they were losing last we saw. Moon in a close one earlier against West Allegheny. They'll be at Tiger Stadium on University Boulevard before welcoming in the Baldwin Highlanders back at home on October 3rd. And the highlight is Moon starts conference play, and those are the must-win games because of how condensed the 5A playoff field is. You get those wild cards, but boy, you'd like to take care of business and control your own destiny. You know how important that is.
I definitely do.
All right, for the West Mifflin Titans, doesn't get any easier. They will go to Thomas Jefferson to take on the Jags. Then they go to Mars to take on those Fighting Planets up in Cranberry before welcoming their rivals, the McKeesport Tigers, come to town. And that has to be a tough one for you, Mike. You have relationships with both communities.
I do. I was raised in West Mifflin, but I graduated from McKeesport, so I'm not calling that game and I'm not picking that game.
Let's take a look at some scores from around the WPIAL as Bethel Park celebrates their win. How about those Aliquippa Quips? That game 19-6. Not sure exactly where, late in the fourth quarter in that one. That is a final. Aliquippa comes back to beat Mars, and that's a big one. A bounce-back win for the Quips. TJ loses to Avonworth 41-14. The Lopes are for real. What a statement. You beat Aliquippa and TJ in back-to-back weeks. Who could ever say they've won in one season against those two perennial programs? All Norwin tonight, 56-13. NA, close game with Hempfield for a while. Then they blew it open, 49-6. How about those Penn Trafford Warriors? They had a big win, comeback win against Moon. They drove 95 yards to win by 1 last week. They don't have it tonight. Woody High, W-O-O-D-Y. Woody High tonight, 49-21. And then Elizabeth Ford falls to South Fayette, 20-9. That's a good bounce-back win for South Fayette, who lost to Cannon McMillan last week. Well, we still got high school football for you. Next week, we go to Heinz Field, the pit in Aliquippa, for the Penn Hills Indians, matched up against the Aliquippa Quips. Fresh off of that come-from-behind victory against Mars, they'll match up against 5A's Penn Hills. It was the first time those two teams met last year, and Penn Hills got the best of them. What will happen this time? Tune in and find out.
That's right.
Should be a good one, Mike.
It'll be definitely a good one. I'm on the call for that one, so it's going to be interesting to see. I'm ready to see what Coach Mike Warfield got for them Quips.
We'll talk to you at the pit next Friday night. Should be a great one between the Indians and the Quips. Well, a great executed game for the Bethel Park Blackhawks. They came into Titan Stadium with a business attitude, and it was all business all night long for Bethel Park as they execute to perfection and win it tonight by the final score of 41-7 over the West Mifflin Titans. For Jake Mislipchik, our producer and director Corey Berger, and our entire JRM video production crew, for Mike Logan and Susie Cole and Colin Shanov, I'm Matt Fargo saying thanks so much for watching this presentation of the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week. The 10 o'clock news is coming up. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next week from the pit in Aliquippa. Good night, Pittsburgh.